Oh, are we on the air? What up, fellas? What up? Microphone check. Can y'all hear me? What's up, Shahid? Hello, how you doing? Doing all right? Can't hear you, Chris.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, this this guy in his car. Oh man, look at his lighting. Look at his lighting. We winning the name, boy. City Boys is up.
Turn it back the other. Yeah, there you go.
City Boys is up. I like that. I like your lighting, sir,
Ooh.
Mr. Brown.
Oh. What's going on with y'all, man?
What's up, sir? You know they've been talking bad about you with your lighting, man. You got to let them know that you in the building.
Hey, it's still a work in progress. I still don't have how I want to have it, but
Man, let me
it's
tell you
better than it
something.
normally is.
If you could see how my lighting is, I don't have all that studio lighting and reflector this and all that, man. I got a lamp right here and a lamp right here. And it's bright.
Hey, we dark skinned, man. We ain't like Shahid and
Facts.
Robert, them light skinned, brown skinned. That ain't us.
Actually, Robert is dark too.
We ain't
Y'all
got
in
no yellow
darkness and
boys.
stuff, so
No, no, you, sir.
Ain't no light brights. We don't have nobody that's a light bright.
Not no
I don't
more.
think. Mm-mm.
Not no more.
What's popping? Where's
Um,
Colin?
he in the back somewhere. He in
He
the
doing his
back
producer
playing with
thing.
his toy.
Oh,
I
DB
don't
is
know.
here. I see. DB's not on cam, but he's here.
Oh, he is. Love it.
Yeah, he's here. He'll pull up whenever he. The system is set to whenever he turns his camera on, he'll show up on the screen. So,
Oh, okay. And Robert was in his car, so he's working out his kinks.
all right, cool. Oh, there you go, D. What up, D?
Oh, geez.
What's popping, man?
Man, what's the deal?
Wait, is that Jerron? Jerron,
This
what you
ain't
do? Jerron, you went
You
shopping?
can actually see
You got
him, right?
At
Jerron went
least one
shopping.
side of his face is lit up. That's a
He
start.
picked up a camera and a
That's
light.
all that matters.
He went to Home Depot, got a 100 watt. Okay, he got a 100 watt. He put
right.
that 25 watt light bulb out.
look, this is
That's what's
home
up.
improvement. I ain't did nothing. I ain't went to Home Depot or nothing.
That's what's up.
Who else? Robert. I guess Robert cut his camera off. He was here. He was in the car. Said I'm racing home. Well, whatever. Saw gravy. How's everybody doing
Saw
this week?
gravy. I'm good, man. Really good.
Everything good this way. Let me check it.
Hey,
So I'm thinking,
Shan is
huh?
really tall, y'all. Like you're like a tall 6'2". Like, and I've been
I'm
like
like,
I play ball with dudes that's like 6'5", 6'8". You're like a tall 6'2".
you
Y'all
think
sound like
so?
Kevin Hart. Y'all sound like Kevin Hart and Shaq.
No, it
I
definitely
hope it
wasn't
ain't
that.
that bad.
It was not that. It's just I
No.
guess so he is so like we only see his upper torso, right? So in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I'm thinking, okay,
He's,
Shan is like,
he's an
I know
average dude.
he's
He's an average tall.
yeah, but he's like a taller, and then he was like, oh, I got a jump shot. I'm like, first of all, you 50, bro. So,
I know. It don't matter how tall I am. What them knees like?
facts. What
What
your
them
back
knees
gonna say
do?
after that first sprint up and sprint back? You gonna be, oh, I ain't did this in a
What them
while.
knees
Nah,
like?
nah. Nah, like, and I mean, it take me a minute to get in the rhythm of like running up and down. We ones and twos to 10, so we going at least 5 times.
Yeah,
So
man. Like today I went to the stairs. So I haven't been working out like really all summer, right? Just no excuse.
listen,
I just
same.
bullshitting. Bruh. But I went to the Culver City stairs. So in LA we hike and we stare in LA, right? We have the Santa Monica stairs and we have the Culver City stairs. Those are the two most popular, right? Um the Culver City stairs is more like a nature. It's like rock that was in concrete that was put into the side of this mountain, and you could go up and And then Santa Monica stairs is like in between, just so residents can come down to the beach, but people actually work out on that. So that's like these wooden stairs, and that's really popular too. I never really do the Santa Monica stairs. I do the Culver City one. And bro, I went today, was sucking wind. I was like, what the hell? See, that's the even if you slow down,
Stop. You can't stop.
you can't stop. You can't stop. You can't come to a complete halt and then expect to pick it back up. Now, if you going all hard at one point in life and then you slow down a little bit and it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just do a little something for 30, 20 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes of stretching, then you can ease back into it. But what I did was I came to a complete stop. I know better. I tell other people don't do that, but I didn't practice what I preach. And so when I went to the stairs today, I was sucking wind, man. Yeah, bro. It was terrible.
It saved me going to play basketball every twice a week. Listen, when I get back to doing this 5 miles, 3-mile walk every other day, I'm sure. And actually, I decided I'm gonna do something different. I said I'm gonna get on my bike and ride my bike. That's what I decided I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ride the bike.
That's what's up. So wait, so you do a 3-mile run on the treadmill, or you hit the street?
No, 3-mile walk.
I mean, you do the walk on the treadmill, or you hit the street?
Nah, it's where my church is they have 240 acres of property. And
Damn.
so
one church?
Largest property owned by a black church in the nation. And I'm not sure the world, but I'm definitely sure the nation.
I can't imagine no other black church, nowhere other place on the planet that has 240 acres of land belonging to one congregation.
240 acres. So
I mean, you guys can build it. You could build a damn, what do you call it, a combine or whatever. You could build a whole commune if y'all wanted to. How's your congregation? You could build like 240 acres, bro. You could build like apartment complexes, sky rises, and all that, and have the whole congregation live on the church's land.
So part of the problem with that is our pastor is really pro buy a home. So what they are doing is they're building a senior citizens living community. So they're building like 100 homes, and in those 100 homes, they're going to be seniors. So they're, that's that part. But they also are doing, there's a lot of stuff. Well, I can't really say because it's proprietary to the leadership, but there's a lot of stuff they're doing. But anyway, so they have this parking lot, and inside this oval space, so it's like 5 different parking lots. Inside the parking lot, it's like a 4-part parking lot. And if you walk around once, it's half a mile. You walk around twice, it's a mile. So I do 6 laps. Well, I used to do 6 laps, and that's how I was cutting down. I mean, just doing those 3 miles. I do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Go in the gym, do a little iron, chest press, this, that, whatever. Do some crunches on the machine, and then Wednesday and Friday I play ball. And it was just trimmed. I went from like,
bruh. No, I know.
From a
a lot of people don't think that walking is they think walking is no big deal when it comes to fitness. And it's like, right. Nah, man.
It's one of the simplest things you can do.
Listen, if you did
it takes a lot, though.
Nothing else. Huh?
Over the age of 40, especially for a man who's organized.
You said it takes a lot?
No, I'm saying that walking actually is, it's helpful.
Oh, yeah.
It's walking.
Yeah,
it's a task. It's a task, but it only takes me about an hour. So if I go before the sun comes up, right? If I go before 8 o'clock, because that's when the sun comes up.
It's just.
Say it again, Shan.
No. It's low. It's low impact. It's low impact, especially on individuals over 40.
Yes.
Who's taking a lot of wear and tear on your knees. I played basketball in high school. I played football in high school. And listen, your body, when you hit that when you hit that 35 to 39 window, you start to feel all those times where you were out on the playground from the time the sun came up to the lights came
down.
Man, I wish I would see one of them days again. I'd be happy to see just to 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a different story being out there and just being walking. It's actually refreshing, man. You got some music. Well, I have some music, and it's like I got my water pack, and this is before I actually started doing the BCAA powder. I have a backpack with water on it, so I'm not getting dehydrated. I don't have to carry a water. I just drink the water from the tube and slide on. So it was real helpful, man. But I think I'm gonna get on the bike, man, and just because we got a trail. I think we got like 50-mile trail of trails. And they made it's not a park, but it's just like a trail, it's like a walking path. But you can also get on the bike and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of dope.
Okay.
Kind of dope. Daryl, you still working out?
Okay, that's what's up.
No, I haven't been clear, but I am going to start back walking. I still haven't. I think I'm ready to, but I have a couple more doctor's appointments that I have to go through. I got to get 3 more X-rays and MRIs done, and they're going to figure out whether or not I'm going to have surgery on a couple major joints. But if it was left up to me, I would just go back to my regular routine. But I probably picked up about 10 pounds since I stopped working out. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be safe at my age than saying, bump it. I'm going to just wing it. I'm going to listen to the doctors this time.
Right.
At this time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
One of the things that I hate. Go ahead, DB. I'm sorry.
No, you cutting in. Go ahead. You cutting in and out. I don't know what happened. Maybe if I tried to talk at the same time you talked, it cut you off. But go ahead. You said one of the things. What?
Yeah, one of the things I hate is that, man. I think I have always been programmed to not listen to doctors, but I'm like, you know what? They went to school for their specialty, like up until like I turned like 30, right about 30, right? Last 12 years I started to listen. But prior to that, it's like, oh no, I know my body, I know what's going on. Man, I ain't never doing that again. Doctors say do this, we doing it. You need to work out, I'm working out. Drink more water. That was one of the big things. Drink more water. Like big. So I'm glad matter of fact, I need to get my water now. I don't even know where it's at.
You know what the ironic thing is about most doctors?
What's that?
They can see your health. They can see your health declining, but if you start to make the change to get healthier, then what does that do for the business for them? They see you less. Yeah. They write less prescriptions. So at the end of the day, their professional perspective, they're gonna be like, if you get healed, my business is gonna, I'm gonna see you less. So I'm not saying that they rig it, but the game is rigged.
Yeah, I got a slight MCL tear in my left knee, and they first thing they offered was to inject me with steroids. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like right now, they don't. I got to see a specialist. I actually go see a specialist tomorrow morning, but they're gonna consult with me if I need the PRP procedure where they take my blood and then respin it, the plasma spinning, and then they inject it back into the knee. So I'm thinking about going that route. But the first thing they offered was like, oh, you can always do a steroid shot. And I'm like, nah, I don't want y'all pumping nothing into me like that. But
They want their money. They go
yeah,
they one way or the other.
Yeah, they love pumping stuff into black people.
yeah.
Let them do it.
Because my insurance covered all the other stuff, the PRP procedure that is covered 100% by my insurance. So they was trying to shoot that steroid up in me. But yeah, that's actually an interesting topic to just kind of just like our fear as black men of the doctor. You know what I mean? Like, to Daryl's point, it's not really like they have no real incentive of getting us healthy. You know what I mean? Like it's always medicine. It's never preventative steps. Like, hey, eat this, change this about your diet, do this, and you won't be having these problems. It's like, yeah, when you have the problem, come see me and I'll give you a remedy, because it's not a cure. It's just a little remedy to the problem. And it's, you know what I mean?
Right. It's like a vaccine.
Right. It just keep you coming back.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's the thing though with black men, like we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot sometimes, because it's like we avoid the doctors so long up until that point where it's like we kind of gotta depend on them now. Like for example, with me, like I didn't hooped my whole life. I'm dealing with these horses. So it's just like now my body is to a point where it's just like I gotta start really,
Taking care of your body.
getting some serious stuff done and looked at if I want to really, 20, 30 years from now be able to walk upright. So it's a 22 for sure, because I know like I was the same way. Like I have a severe ankle injury or something bad, and it's just like whatever, it'll go away in a week or so. You know what I mean? So
Man, you know, in your early teens and 20s, man, you feel invincible. Like I would, man, playing football, running track, I think I had a hip flexor where I might have pulled a muscle running, and I got halfway through the race. I had to walk off, like limp off, basically be carried off the track. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll be back. I'll be back, ready. And we raced like every week, but we practiced every day. I said, oh, I'll be okay. My track coach was like, oh, you didn't stretch properly. I'm like, listen, if you ain't teach us nothing else, we knew how to run and we knew how to stretch. And I think I don't know what it was, but I pulled something. My whole from my knee to my waist, it was stiff. I couldn't move nothing. And man, by that was, we raced on like a Thursday or Friday. By Tuesday, didn't even go to the doctor, didn't check in. By Tuesday, I was back in practice. I'm like, let's go. And she asked me if I was okay. We definitely got to get out of that I'm invincible mentality, right? Because by the time, like you said, Shahi, by the time we actually are in dire need, it's too late. And not too late, like we're on our deathbed, but that's really the wrong time to try and go and see a doctor or see a physician's assistant or try to get the help, because now everything is preventative.
it's funny because I watch a lot of pro athletes like years after their career. Like if you look at the professional athletes' hands that deal with like football, basketball, where there's a lot of hand contact, all their fingers is like just all over.
Yeah,
all mangled.
Yeah, because they just play through those injuries. Like they don't want to take the time and let their body heal properly, and then it's just like catch up to them. Like even some of their legs, their knees. Seeing a lot of them in person, like a lot of these dudes got bad lower bodies. You know what I mean? Like it's just all out of whack, because it's a lot. That was one of the things. Like when I started playing, like a lot more with the pros. They have like huge lower bodies as far as their legs. The base is like up top, they be whatever, but their legs are just they core is that lower body. And once that stuff start going, them knees and them ankles and feet, man, it's like it's like you see a zombie walking the way they be just moving about.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, that reminds me of Deion Sanders. Like he just had to have surgery last year.
He had to get like 2 of them removed.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. Because I remember throughout his career, he would always have those turf toe issues, like
Turf toe issues
all the time. And I think it just caught up. I know he had like one unsuccessful surgery or something, and then they had to go back and just take. I think like I forgot which. Did they take the? I think they took his big toe off. I think
It was one of them.
Yeah, they took some like at least two. If it wasn't the big toe, they took two of his other toes off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, in all my years, man, I don't think I ever had turf toe, man. I mean, but I didn't, you know, I don't. But we played on grass, so maybe that might be the difference. You know, we didn't have a lot of turf fields.
He was playing in basketball, like a lot of turf fields. The old Astro turf that they don't play on it no more, but the old Astro turf they used to play on, you could play literally in basketball shoes. So they got rid of that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
You know what's crazy is revisionist history will tell you that Black men don't fare well with the doctors. So it's easy for you to have a turf toe and just say, I'm gonna fold this sock over, put the ankle brace on, and put on a couple more socks on top of it and cushion the toe and go with it. But like we were saying earlier, Black men, we didn't fare well as far as being diagnosed well and as well as being treated. And it goes way back in history how certain things were done to us that make most Black men say, you know, I don't want to know. Just don't even tell me. Just let me just ride out on this horse.
No, I think it really affects us all, though. It's not just so it does affect African American men, but as a whole, African Americans in general. You know, it's like the racial inequality in the healthcare field, where, like you were talking about, a lot of misdiagnosing and a lot of discrimination in the healthcare field. And so a lot of those different things right there is things that has made the African American population, you know, kind of weary when it comes to going to the doctor or actually going and seeking any type of services, because, you know, a lot of times we just call it for what it is. We don't get the same type of treatment that our white counterparts get when they go to the doctor or things like that. Even when it comes to insurance, you know, there's insurance discrimination, where you may go to the doctor and they may look at us as a, you know, coming in the door, this person ain't got no insurance. You know, African American, they Black, they ain't got no insurance, but a white person coming in the door, you know, they ready to serve them and everything. So I think it impacts us all as a generation. You know, I think it goes way back, like you were saying, Daryl, even to, you know, my grandma and granddad and even their parents, the racial discrimination that's in the healthcare field.
Wes. Oh God, never mind. Too late.
Yeah, he froze.
Am I still pixelated, or is it clear? The image clear?
No, you still a little bit. This is the worst I've ever seen you. Usually, your digital studio quality is on point, but I've never seen you like this.
Damn.
I think it's because you're next to Wes. You know, that might be it. You know, we don't. I don't know what it is with. You know, you got to. Are you using Wes's Wi-Fi? You know,
This ain't like you, Shan. This ain't like you, Shan. You've changed.
It must be. I restarted and I ran a speed test, but even the speed test is acting up. You know, we had an outage. We had an outage over here.
There we go.
And ever since, it's kind of like been up.
Yeah, perfect.
Now you're clear.
It's perfect. Whatever you did, you flawless.
Now you're clear.
I ain't did nothing. I was just looking like. Is it good?
Yeah, you're good.
Crystal clear.
All right, cool. I don't know, man. Anyways,
now
Princess is in the house. I see Princess and Kiki's and B. Alexander and my girl Candid Ann. I haven't seen Candid Ann in a long time. It's good to see you, love. I saw Muna says she goes hiking. Hey, Muna, you don't go to the Culver City. I mean, you don't go to Culver City stairs. Stop it, Muna. You don't go to Culver City stairs. I'll be looking for you, and you don't be there. You've been saying that all year long. But and then Colin's back. See, Shahid spoke on that. Shahid spoke on that individualism. Now everybody getting dressed. I guess
I'm wearing my T-shirt.
I got
I
mine
woke
on
up
too,
like
but
this.
maybe next week I wear a suit or something since Colin.
I might come with a button down next week.
I woke up like this.
Okay.
All right.
Ain't that Beyonce?
All right.
Mr. West is in the building. Or is he?
He's here, but whatever that thing is that
He's here.
Shan always say, he got a repeater or something. He look at him shaking
West,
his head.
West got the equipment. He just it's just an internet service. That's all. He's stealing Wi-Fi from the next door neighbor. He got to stop doing that. He got to go ahead and get his own
He got
account.
net zero.
Damn, I haven't heard net zero in a long time.
He got the disc. He got the disc. Okay. So every week, thank you all for joining us. Just real quick, thank you all for joining us, man. We want to say shout out to all of the people who watch us every week, who are here for one of the best shows on Thursday night, and we are Ask a Black Man Anything. And literally every week we bring amazing content. We talked a little bit just today about health and how Black men typically stay away from the doctor. And if you're a Black man, you want to make sure, if you're a man, period, you want to make sure that you go to the doctor, get your regular visits. If you're over a certain age, you know what exams you got to take, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And believe you me, I can't stand that exam, but I've done it twice, and I hated it both times. And they actually said, one physician's assistant told me that you can do it through blood, but that we ain't gonna get into all of that. But I also want to welcome, because we have a couple of guests that joined us tonight. I want to welcome our guests to the stage. I don't know their names because they didn't put it in chat.
She just fell off. Mika was here, but she fell out just now.
Oh, okay. Dang, Mika, I was about to bring you on. Come on back, Jack. I was ready. Wes, have you gotten it together?
Yeah, man. Yo, it's been an interesting ride for me, man. I had an actual bit of a cancer scare, right? Just recently. And that's what prompted me to go to the VA and do all the things that I should have been done. So yeah, man, I got every exam, even the uncomfortable one, at the age of 50, which is way too late to be.
That's your first time, Wes?
Yeah.
They moving that up. Yep. They moving the colonoscopy up. I had my first colonoscopy at 40. Well, when did I go to the hospital for that? So in 2015, that's 7 years ago. 43. I had they had my colonoscopy, but the doctor was telling me that they're moving that up from 50 to 45 for men.
Gotcha.
My first exam was at 40. And yeah, let me just say, yeah, that part.
Yo, I almost live streamed mine, man, because because so many men, it's so taboo, especially for Black men, that I felt
Wes, thank you for not doing that. Thank you. Please. Spare us.
Hey, Wes.
Listen, we see enough on your Instagram when it randomly pop up. Wes has made a new post, and then oh my god.
We do not need to see a probe going up your ass. But you know what, Wes? Did they knock you completely out?
No, wait. So I didn't have a colonoscopy. I had the prostate exam. Yeah.
Oh, that ain't shit. That ain't nothing like turn your head and cough. No, the big one. Okay, so you talking about that? No, I'm talking. So you haven't had your colonoscopy yet?
No. They checked my levels and they told me that I don't that I wouldn't be.
You did the blood exam, or you said this is my hand and this is my finger.
No, I did the blood exam, and yeah, and they said that so I have to, I'm gonna have to look into that, because if from what I got gathered, if is it your PSA numbers or whatever, but they were basing it upon that, whether or not I should actually have a full colonoscopy. But
Oh, I thought I was under the impression all men should have a colonoscopy. Period, just to check for polyps or anything that's going on, to check your digestive system. I never knew that there was a preliminary test to see if you even need a full one.
Yeah, you can. They draw your blood, and then they actually do the finger to see if it's abnormal. I just saw Mika. Mika, are you still with us?
I've been trying to give her instructions in the chat. I don't know if she can see.
There
It's
she
all
is.
good.
Mika,
Hey.
if you would please rotate your phone landscape.
That is nice. Oh, there
Thank
you
you.
go.
There it is.
Hey,
Beautiful.
Mika.
Mika, can you hear me?
Yes, but now I can see it. All right.
Okay, perfect. Mika, I want to personally welcome you on behalf of all of the gentlemen of Ask a Black Man Anything. Welcome to Ask a Black Man Anything, and we're so glad that you can join us. Beautiful setup, looks all nice and serene. Thank you for joining. And dive right in. What question do you have for us?
I've been thinking. I just joined, so I'm not really sure to ask.
Ask whatever you want.
I came
or
in on.
or you could just sit there, Mika, and just hit us with that smile. There you go. We good. We good for what we got. About an hour. We can do this for an hour.
Question.
Listen, Mooney Long, whatever her name is, Wes.
Right.
Let this young lady think.
I don't know. The topic of health. Why is it such taboo in the Black community, though? For men, Black go to the doctor. Why is it such a big thing for men?
So
we
I know for me, is oh, go ahead.
Now, I mean, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, for the first part of it is the men you look up to, your fathers, your uncles, and everybody that you look up to, they have bad things to say about the medical industry. And it might be a bit extreme, but there is some truth to it when you do the research. They saying like, oh, they killing people. And now even today, you hear more so about how one of the leading leaders of Black women is, hospitals and whatnot. But I think it's that. I think it's a part of just, it's seen as there's a stigma to it that you're like less of a man if you let a doctor check you out. Like if you let you supposed to be, this is how it's a stripe for you to have an injury or something harm you, and you just tough it out. And you know what I mean? Like you literally have to get a leg chopped off or have, especially if it's no blood, it's like, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible to get a Black man to the doctor, but it's a whole lot of different things. Like, and then I think like, especially for athletes like myself, I think when you reach a point, it's like, I didn't have worse than this, and I got through it. So why would I go see a doctor for this? Like, oh, it's just a little cough. It's just this. We've overcome so many different smaller health things. We just think, and then some people just got the mentality of like, oh, we're gonna die someday. So it's a little bit of everything, but I'll pass it on.
So
I like how you did that. He said, an athlete like my. I like that. Go ahead, Shannon.
So here's what I think, Mika. The reason why, and this is not just Black men, but it's men in general. Men do not like going to the doctor. Oh, just go get your annual checkup. Half the men on this panel probably haven't gotten an annual checkup. Probably hadn't been to the doctor in a couple years. Just to go cough and do a blood and run blood. The reason why is because I believe that men are afraid to die. I believe that the reason why men do not go to the doctor is because we are afraid to get diagnosed with something that's going to make us fall short of completing our purpose. So every man on the planet should have a purpose, right? We have this goal. Some of us want to get rich. Some of us want to buy homes. Some of us have children and we want to leave something for the kids, some kind of legacy. And some of us, so that's why we work ourselves to death. We don't have any problem going to work and working 80 hours a week at the railroad or going to the factory or going to the warehouse or building and digging ditches. We will work ourselves to death because we're trying to make that money so we can have our name be something that the greats will remember, right? But if you go to the doctor and the doctor diagnoses you with something, and it was already one thing for men to already have a shorter lifespan than our counterparts, right? So it's like, damn, I don't even want to hear no bad news. This is just me. Now, there's no scientific evidence to this. This is just what Shannon thinks. I think that one of the reasons, because I have to ask myself, I lost my father last year. I have to ask, why don't men just go and get a checkup the way women go get a checkup? Women are supposed to get their pap smears. Women go to the doctor a lot more often than men. Women go to therapy a lot more often than men. Why won't men deal with medical professionals of any ilk? And I think it's because when men are diagnosed with something that can be wrong with them, whether it's mental health, I don't want to go see a therapist because the therapist is going to let me know that I'm clinically a narcissist. Something that my wife been telling me all these years, but now I've been diagnosed with narcissism, and I hit all the 8 spectrums or however that thing goes, or I go to the doctor and I find out I got prostate cancer, or I have type 2 diabetes, and I don't want to be told nothing wrong with me because I got shit to do and I'm not done yet. So in my personal opinion, Mika, one of the reasons, to answer your question directly, I think one of the reasons why men don't go is because men are afraid to die too soon without completing the purpose of the things that they want to do in life. And a doctor can derail that or change the plans, and we don't want to hear that shit. But that's just me.
Agreed, bro.
I agree relatively with what both the gentlemen said, and I think history tells us that when men, especially men of color, go to the system that has been trying to destroy them, then that system is already set up to give them bad news or to do something that's not ethical. And it's unfortunate that, one, we get raised to not show emotion. So when we do have injuries, when we do have health scares, we're told, "I'll brush that off," or just work through it, or whatever the case may be. But I think that our generation watched our fathers, like I watched my father retire at 54, which is actually the age that I am now. And by 59, he was gone. But I think the only thing that actually kept him going was he was getting up, going to that job every day. So when do we have time to go get checked out? Especially that generation, my father stayed working. He worked at the steel mill. So, he had all these risk factors actually going into work and making it home from work, let alone that fear of, if I go to the doctor, they're telling me I'm walking around with a ticking time bomb in my chest or something like that. So we definitely, there's definitely a fear there. And it's also a mysticism that comes with all of the past history that has been, diametrically opposed to our health. We don't want to go to the system that's been rigged to take us out. So a lot of guys won't go there, just won't go.
But D, see, so one thing that you mentioned was he doesn't have time, but did he not have time, really? If we got time to watch a football game, we got time to go get a checkup.
Agreed.
To me, that borderlines the excuse side of things. It's like, oh, I ain't got time to do that. I got to work. I know he worked at the steel mill. I know he worked a lot of hours. He took care of the family and whatnot. But did he watch TV ever? Did he watch a game? Did he watch a movie? Because the 2 hours it takes to watch a movie is the 2 hours it takes to go get a quick checkup at the local clinic, doctor, or hospital.
Yeah, you definitely right. and it's the same way nowadays where, he also had time to spend time with us. That work life balance is another factor that needs to be factored in that keep men, you got to be whole spirit, soul, and body. And sometimes when you're not balancing that and all you know is work, sometimes work was an escape for him, probably. I don't have all the questions to ask him. I wonder at times what he was going through down through his last years, but I'm at that age now, so I have questions about myself that recently getting hit by a car. I wake up every day wondering, looking at my mortality in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're forgetting something, though. I think we're forgetting one important part is that looking at history, and it just makes me think about back in 1932 with, Tuskegee Airmen and the syphilis study. And, I think they went to like 1972. It was pretty long, but, they were giving our African-American pilots syphilis and things like that. And so I think it stems from way back then, just a mistrust with the healthcare field. I think Darrell said it, early on, going to the doctor, we would go to the doctor, we would see somebody that didn't look like us. And this even in the mental health field as well. Most of the time it was Caucasian male, Caucasian woman. And I'm an African American. And so, why would I go and talk to this white person about what I got going on medically or what I got going on mentally? They don't know anything about me, or they don't know anything about my history, about my population or my generation. So why would I go and reveal to them what I have going on? Because I already don't trust them. There's been countless studies. That's not even the only study that exists where African American men in general too have been actually done wrong in the healthcare field. There even been studies where African American men have got the short end of the stick due to financial gains for people in the healthcare field and things like that. And so I still think we have this, I guess we can call it belief, that we can't trust people in the healthcare field. Although there are a lot of African American doctors now, there are a lot of African American mental health professionals, but still, as men, we can sometimes be stubborn. And so, when we got this stubborn personality about ourselves, and even if our wives or girlfriends or whoever, family members try to tell us to go to the doctor, go see a mental health therapist and things like that, we already have this preconceived notion of how this is going to go. And sometimes it takes you taking that step, or going and, hey, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or even taking somebody with you that first time for you to build up the confidence enough to know that, okay, it's not that bad as I thought it was going to be. But when you already have these preconceived notions, when all you know is other people being done wrong, some people have family members that have got done wrong in the healthcare field. I think everybody may have somebody in their family or knew somebody that they went to the hospital and for something else ended up happening. That person never ended up coming back home. And so then this person got the mindset, the doctor killed my dad, or the hospital killed my mom. And so, I'm not finna go to that place where, they killed my mom or they killed my dad, and they went in there for one simple thing and ended up having to stay in there for 2 or 3 months and never came back home. So long as we have these preconceived notions built up, as long as we have these stubborn beliefs about the healthcare field, then we'll never go to the doctor. Yeah, that's just my thought on it.
Yo, if I could, I want to interject. And so one thing I think that's important for us I need to do a little research and make sure that I'm clear on this. But one of the things that because we have all of these myths that sometimes affect our psyche and our willingness to go and participate in in our own health when it comes to going to institutions, as DB has stated and whatnot. And so a lot of that mistrust. So I just want to bring up the point of the Tuskegee experiment and that whole thing. Now, I'm not completely versed on it, so I want to go back and fact check this. But from what I understand, though, it's not that they gave people syphilis. What happened was that they were supposed to be treating people with syphilis, But the experiment was they wanted to see how syphilis would affect a person going untreated for a long period of time. And so, with that being said, they had people basically taking placebos, basically not being treated, but thinking that they were, and carrying on with syphilis and perhaps spreading it. Um, but I just want to make that distinction because while it's still a valid mistrust of the system, especially as it relates to the government being involved um, with health, it is one of the reasons why so many people were skeptical about taking the vaccine. Now we don't have to hash that out or whatever the case is, and I don't know where we all stand with it, but I do know that that was one of the things that prevented a lot of people from trusting the system enough to take the vaccine when it came to COVID, and perhaps would have more lives could have been saved had we not had we had some of these myths and whatnot dispelled. So anyway, I just wanted to make that point, but I will fact check that.
Perfect. I want to welcome our other host, Robert, and also Journey. Welcome to Ask a Black Man Anything. Journey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect, man. You listen, your audio is better than Robert's.
Don't do them like that.
Look, you see he's talking and you can't even hear him.
Kidding. I was joking.
You can't even hear him.
Joke. It was a joke. I know
Can't even hear him. That's so terrible. Listen, so Journey, I want to welcome you to Ask a Black Man Anything. Go right ahead, dive in with your question. What question do you have?
All right. Well, thank you all for having me. I'm nervous. I'm gonna tell you all that now.
Listen, we don't bite unless it's wet. But he likes to mud wrestle better than biting.
You don't want it?
See, look, we family now. So
I bite.
Listen.
I bite.
Let's let your hair down, and go ahead and pop your question for me.
Okay, it might be a two-parter. Okay, so my question is, I guess it's like a personal question because I just started a business and I'm looking into growing a nonprofit. So for someone that's doing that, how would you suggest like balancing like basically life and then also branching out and how can I say fostering like new connections with people?
Are you talking about connections with men?
Yeah, in general.
Are you trying to date? Are you single?
No, I'm saying like, so how can we foster yourself? That's why I say it's kind of like
for her nonprofit. I'm assuming.
Yes, like in business relationships, like how do you foster business relationships or like, just connections in general when you're starting off a business or a nonprofit, especially when it comes to, a single woman or a woman in general, when it comes to, I don't want to say a male dominated industry, but business is a lot of, it's biased either way. But how would you suggest that?
Okay.
I feel like for the first part, when you say like the life balance.
Life balance, yeah.
I don't feel like I wouldn't suggest anybody do anything that can't run congruent with their life. Like for example, I'm in the nonprofit sector, and my nonprofit is aligned with my life. So like I'm a coach, so I'm into extracurricular youth sports, etc. So it's not something that I'm doing. Like I really have to jump into a different element for right. So I mean that's just in life. Period. They tell you to do what you're passionate about, but I think it's easier when your service comes natural and it runs congruent with the life, your day-to-day life. As far as I get what you mean by it being a male-dominated industry.
Okay, so I think let me say this part. So I've come into situations where I'm new and I'm trying to get my business out there. I'm trying to get the name, not trying. If I say try, correct me, because I don't like that. So I'm getting my name, my business name out there and things like that. And then I come into situations where it's a lot of males around. A lot of males are, over the business. So of course I'm coming in. I'm myself. I'm like, hey, I'm bubbly, whatever it is. But sometimes, or a lot of times, I come into a situation where it may not be the male, but it may be their counterpart or somebody that works close with them, and they have a problem with me coming into the business. So it's like, how do you deal with Those type of relationships is what I'm saying. How do I continue to build relationships with, you know, a male dominated kind of industry, and, you know, like
Their
not pose
wives.
that threat?
They got their
Yeah,
wives and their secretaries is hating.
yeah, and it's not. It's, I call it the Jessica Rabbit effect, because it's like, you know, she not bothering nobody. She won't Roger Rabbit. She doing her thing, but it's like all of these other people are like, what is this heifer doing? So it's like, how do you find that balance of working on your own thing and still trying to build those relationships, but not trying to come in between anyone else? If that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think the spaces you're gonna have to choose spaces where, like, the mindset of a lot of these men is just like they only see the goal, the success. You know what I mean? It's like, and most of those men do typically, but like you said, it's they, like Shan said, it's the secretaries, the jealous girl over here that's trying, you know, like, she been trying to do something, work with him for the longest, and then here you come, and now, you know, y'all got something going in action. So I mean, I've never even been in that space, so maybe the other fellas, it's a bunch of entrepreneurs on here, but I think, man, I wish we had another woman that could possibly answer that. Because I mean, I know that could
But I
be.
mean, it's pillow talk. You know, we always come back and say stuff, guys. So it's like, what is the issue that's being brought up that's, you know, that's coming
Well,
up?
I mean, you're an attractive woman for one, so that's
Yeah.
That's like Jessica Rabbit.
You asking us how to circumvent pretty girl privilege?
Like,
that's whatever.
It's tough. I mean,
We'll go back to the other question then.
No, I
Oh, we have a solution, but I'm just saying that, you know, when you talk about pretty girl privilege, that happens in every aspect of life. So what is the nonprofit? What sector is the nonprofit that you're doing? Just give us some insight on that.
So the nonprofit is basically geared towards our youth. That's really all that it is.
Okay, at risk youth.
At risk, yeah.
Okay.
So I
All
work.
right, cool.
I'll be more open. I work in with DCFS. So I work with, you
Mhm.
know, with underprivileged children. But I've always wanted to be a social worker, even when I graduated from high school. So when I finally had the heart or whatever to go into it, I see that, you know, our system does things. Yes, we do. But there's other things that we can do on the outside that, you know, policies and laws and things kind of prevent us from doing. And when I've worked in other nonprofits or like volunteering and things like that, I see the difference. So it just gave me a spark to kind of just start my own.
I got you, and I got you, and just to give us a little bit more insight, is the tension, the you know, the attitude that you can slice with a knife in the air? Is it more so from other women who are looking at you as competition to social worker positions, or are they trying to protect the men that you work around since you're working in that sector?
It's, to be honest with you, it's not even just. I would say it's in. I guess it's not just in work wise. It's in business as well. Like even in business or even in the nonprofit sector, it's. I notice it, and sometimes it's not
Okay.
always women. It's not always women. Sometimes men have an issue too.
I have a
Okay.
question, Johnny. Do you have a mission? Do you have a mission statement for your nonprofit?
Yes.
And if so, does it align with? Are you actively pursuing that mission? Because sometimes I think when you're in an industry that you're going to come up against a lot of competition, sometimes we focus on the competition as opposed to the mission. And I think if you are still following your mission statement and your core values, I think that whatever your niche is, if you stick to that, I don't think your competition would be competition, because you're in your own lane doing what you do.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with inner city I'm assuming, I don't like to do that, but if it's, you know, at risk kids in the city, it's plenty of those opportunities to you know, to focus your mission. The problem comes in is when you're making connections, people tend to lose sight of what their mission really is because they see so much competition and they become fearful. And I would say stick to your mission and your core values and let that drive what you want to do in as far as moving forward with your business.
Okay.
I was
Go ahead, Colin.
I was gonna say I was just gonna use the technique of killing them with kindness, and because I mean, as cocky as this sound, it's just I don't look at competition like I don't see competition. I just do what I'm capable and talented in doing. So, so what I mean by that is you can go directly to the source. So if it's the gentleman they're guarding you from, it's just like go straight to the woman and let her know what it is that you do. So if you have front-facing material, like Darryl was saying, like your mission statement or your capability statement, whatever that might be, you can go straight to those women, those secretaries, assistants, and let them know, hey, my name is such and such. This is exactly what my nonprofit does. And I was wondering if there's a, opportunity here where, we can work with your agency or something like that. Because all it is just a defensive mechanism. You can quickly dissolve that by, like I said, just letting them know what you're there for. So it takes that element of surprise or mysteriousness away because you're being right up front with them. That's the approach I use, because before I was known and things like that in the industry, I'm applying to go to all these places. Nobody knew who I was. So it's like I would just make that initial contact with whoever was in charge or the next best person, which it was an assistant or something like that, and letting them know who I was, the who, what, where, when, just like letting them know who I was, what I was trying to do, and who I am, what we do, and all that kind of stuff. And it literally just takes that whole facade away, and it's just like it just softens people. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we're actually looking for something like that. So you could use that approach too. Just go straight to the source, meaning the source of where the pushback or the adversity is coming from.
So, quick question for you, Journey. Have you ever heard of SWOT analysis?
SWAT.
Okay, so strength, weakness, opportunity. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So, what you want to do, in my opinion, and I'm not a nonprofit. I'm just going to talk about the for-profit method using the SWOT analysis method. Right? You want to look at where you can find strength, where you look at where you can find a weakness, and if you're seeing that it's a hindrance to the whoever is causing some kind of friction is a weakness, I would probably try to, if possible, try to become closer to that one particular person, probably because there may be some envy that you're doing what they want to do, but they don't have the same moxie that you have. So kind of, encourage them. Hey, I see you doing a great job at this. I'm loving, maybe we should connect outside of this so that they can feel as if you're not a threat, because that's the next part of it, right? Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And when you get to the threat parts, when you are perceived as a threat, sometimes some women will, try to hit you head on and try to, chop your neck off. So I would try to do that. Just try to, and I can't tell you how to make a friend because I've never met a stranger. So, if you ask anybody who knows me, actually, my producer just came down. Shan, he just came down this weekend. I was talking to the waitress. He saw me in action. Like, I've never met a stranger. So
That's how I am too. So I don't know if it's always perceived
as flirtatious.
Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like that too. So it can come off like, but it's not.
Yeah, I have that same issue. I feel you, Journey. I have
Oh,
the same
silence.
Wes.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Wes, this is not the Me Too movement. This is not the Me Too moment, okay? Journey and I had a bomb right there on that.
That's why I was saying use that approach where it's like if it's women involved, then it's just like go straight to the source. Can y'all hear me?
I'll try to cut you off. I'll be very honest. It's usually up front. They already know who and why I'm there. Like there's no, there's no undertone or anything, and I will repeat it. Like, this is what's going on. But it's still always I mean, as a woman, you pick up on things, or it's something that's said, and it's just like, why are we doing that? So I just want to know, how is it that I can continue to be myself and still foster those relationships, because I shouldn't have to let the not, let the business relationship go because of personal issues. Now, if the personal issues are too much, then I get it. But personal issues, when it comes to business and personal don't go together to me.
Exactly.
No.
Are you doing this full
I'm a
time?
little different.
Oh, go ahead, Shane.
I'm a little. I'm a little different than them. So killing you with kindness and being okay.
She
You
said
heard
she
the
can't
word shrewd, right?
can't do that.
It hurts sometimes. They be killing me.
So
I'm
shrewd. So here's the thing. There are no kind and nice and chummy self-made millionaires. Everybody's an asshole at the top. And you got to sometimes be an asshole to get there. It's just the way it is.
but it's hard as
So
a woman.
even as a woman. So I think I told you guys the story of Oprah Winfrey years ago. I was in a production meeting. Oprah Winfrey's studio is called Harpo Studios. This is back before she moved to LA, when she picked up OWN. Back when she was still in Chicago doing the Oprah Winfrey show. Oprah had a meeting one time. She walked in. She said, the moment she told, because she had staff was there, and she said, the moment that I know more about your job than you do, you're fired.
Ooh.
And that always stuck with me, to hear that from Oprah, because I know what kind of woman she is on TV. Nice and hey, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car, and she's asking all these questions, but she's a shrewd businesswoman. Have you ever heard of Mary Kay Cosmetics? Mary Kay Ash, the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, is known to have been a shrewd businesswoman. That's how she raised to $1.2 billion in sales and died with a $98 million fortune. So my thing is, fuck them. That's my mind, because I don't know anybody who's self-made success. And with you starting a nonprofit, that makes you the executive director. That's typically the position that's held for the top spot in a nonprofit position. But if you want your nonprofit to stand head and shoulders above the other ones that's out there with at-risk kids, because that's one that a lot, it's saturated. It's a lot of people out there, and they're looking out there. They want those grants. They're looking for those government checks. When you walk into a room and you got haters, you got other people that's doing what you're doing, want to do what you do, hating, think that you're flirting with the guys. The guys are taking your flirts as, no, you have to be a shrewd businesswoman. If you're going to be the executive director and the founder of your nonprofit, you have to be able to keep it business, strictly business, and do not care about other people's feelings. Now, maybe that's not you naturally, but one thing that you will have to do is change whoever you are to become the person that you need to be for your nonprofit to grow. Now, kindness works. I get it. That works for employees. That typically does not work for executives. It's a dog eat dog world. And those that I know, and I've never seen a situation, and I doubt anybody here can name a self-made, successful entrepreneur. I won't even say millionaire. Somebody who's up there, notable, who's just super kind.
Nobody.
You have to, because they're not going to be kind to you. So when you step into these spaces, when you go to the next seminar, when you're at the next convention, when you're when you're fighting for the next grant and you're submitting your grant proposal, right? You're looking for funding for whatever particular project that you're doing, and you have to beat out these other people who also submitted in for the same funding. Being nice and chummy is not going to cut the mustard, because they're gonna smile at your face and stab you in the back.
They're doing it
So
already. I have money.
and so then what do? Do you smile and say thank you for the knife? I appreciate that. And so I think shrewd, which is like a hard-headed acumen that you just get, and when you become laser focused on your target and what you want, you don't care. And did you step on some toes? Sometimes you do. Did you hurt some feelings? Sometimes you did. Smile. I'm not saying be a bitch. I'm not
Yeah.
saying be mean, but I'm saying be very firm and stern. Now, the problem that a lot of men have, and I know this isn't what you're asking in the dating and mating spaces, this is what caused a lot of women who took on the position that you're taking and has problems at home. You're gonna have to be able to balance that because your man at home ain't gonna want you to be like that at home.
I mean, that's another part question right there that we could talk about because I want to know. I want to discuss that too, but I don't know if y'all want to bring it up today.
No, we'll swing it
Turn
back.
the filter
We'll swing it back, Mika.
off.
Mine?
We'll
No,
swing
yeah.
back to you, Mika.
No,
But just
no,
know,
serious, like for real. So Shane is right. So I'll be honest with you. I'm saying because I'm not in the nonprofit sector, right? So I don't know much about it. I'm in a for-profit business. I have employees, and there are times when I literally have to say, "Listen, this is what I told you to do." And then that's it. Like there's not a negotiation, right? I have this one employee who decides that, whenever she gets upset about her income, she wanted to start, like back in January, she told me, now let me give you a quick story. I pay my employees on the second Friday of every month. It was January 7th, which was the first Friday of this year. And she was saying, it is the second Friday. I should be getting paid today. You got paid. I let her talk. I said, now let me explain something to you. You don't get paid today. And if you keep talking to me that way, I'm going to cut you off. And it was, when I tell you it was that simple, sometimes I agree with Shane, you got to be super shrewd and very about your business. But there are times where you have to, you got to turn some niceties too. But in reference to the dating and mating space, ooh, now that's somewhere I can hit a home run. If you can learn how to be a boss at work and come home and turn all of that off, because one of my deal breakers is a woman who raise her voice and argue with me. There's a difference between conversation and us discussing and you trying to argue with me, because you won't outduel me in an argument. You may out yell me. I give you that. You can yell, but I won't yell back. I'll shut up and let you talk. You be talking to yourself. I know you hear me. I do. Let me know when you're done.
See, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I used to be the kind that would go back and forth, but I don't have. Partly my complaint is that I don't argue. Like I can't.
well, don't be cavalier and dismissive. No man wants a dismissive woman.
No, it's not cavalier. Like I address it, but I'm not going to keep going back and forth. Like let's talk about it. We can discuss it, but I'm not about to yell and scream and be going all. I'm not about to do that. So if we can't
you
have
seem kind of nonchalant if I'm just
it comes off that way. I do come off nonchalant, but I'm not.
Yeah, that don't solve nothing.
Huh?
You seem nonchalant and you like I don't give a attitude. Like I feel that. Bang! No. I hit it right on the head.
No,
right on the head. Didn't I? Like yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look, as soon as I called it out, you was like, "Ooh, how he get that?"
It hurt. It hurt me. I'm a little dramatic. It hurt.
Nah, I mean, I could pick. Listen,
but I heard it.
I've been in this dating and mating space for about 5 years. I can pretty much pick them out. I can tell you how you is. Like you're not gonna yell, but you're gonna say what you want to say, how you want to say it. And that's the problem.
What's wrong with me?
Let me give you a quick example. Real quick, Journey.
I'm a listen to you. I'm dirty. Journey. Okay.
Yeah. Let me give you a quick example. So I shared with this young lady that I was dating. I said, look, one of the things that I look for as a woman to be submissive, follows leadership, and cooperative. That was her biggest issue. She's extremely combative. She say what she want to say, how she want to say it, when she feel it. I don't do that. I just don't. I told Shan when we went to brunch. I don't do that. He was like, "Tell me about her, man. What's wrong? What's wrong with her?" I said, "She combative." I don't do that. You can't tell me what you want to say. Say what you want to say, how you want to say it, when you want to say it. You can't do that to me. I don't rock like that. You better cut that shit out. Because we're not doing that.
Yeah, I'm just a little spicy. But it's like I don't say. It's like I'm.
Why? Why be spicy?
I don't know. I'm a little dramatic. So I don't know.
Check this out, though. Here's the thing. And I'm not saying you're a child, but this is what I tell my kids. Why do something that you don't know why you're doing it? It has no purpose. You're doing it, and you can't explain why you're doing it. You just want to be that way. But I bet you want a relationship that's healthy, but you spicy. Who wants that?
It's like jokingly spicy, though.
For what?
I don't know. It's just I just how I am. I guess
you don't even know the purpose of you doing it. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna let somebody else jump on it because
I think
That's
though,
all right.
like it's natural for women to. It comes natural for women to test the man that they interacting with. That's just a natural thing. Like if most women that aren't challenging you don't really care. They know their limits. They know when to stop because they know when like, all right, he ain't finna go for this. So I'm gonna take it all the way here, but I know this is his mark and he ain't going for this shit. So I mean, I don't know how we just switched it to dating. I was gonna go back to the.
no, because that's what she said. That's what she said. She was like, I want to
No,
get
see,
into that.
I was telling her being nice in the workplace is not really gonna fare her well in the success of her nonprofit.
Right.
And if she wants overwhelming, if she wants to be mediocre, she could be nice. But if she wants overwhelming success, she's gonna have to become a shrewd businesswoman. The problem is becoming a shrewd businesswoman. A lot of women, they take that same attitude home, and that's what's been happening over the last 30 years. And so then she
Right.
said, "Oh yeah, that's actually my second question." So that's how we segued into that.
So just going. I know Chris got hyped, so I know he loved the dating.
Look, that's my bread and butter, my boy.
Nah, going back to the business aspect of it though, like one thing I've learned, delegation is key. I knew from the very start of my nonprofit that I wasn't going to be talking to certain people, even though I was the director, founder, whatever. I knew that there were certain things that I wasn't going to do. Like my mind was, and I hate to say it like this, but when it was time for me to go to the Walmarts and to this place and that place and ask for money, I already had an image of that person that I was going to use to go get that money for me. You know what I mean? Like, and then it was just like even dealing with other organizations. I'll never forget this rap lyric. I think it might have been Gilly the Kid. He was dissing Lil Wayne. He said, "Bosses only talk to bosses. Go wake baby up." Meaning, like, I'm not even addressing you. Like, go wake your boss up and talk to me. So it's just like you have to move in that way to where, like, especially if it's like a secretary or something like that, somebody that ain't even really pivotal to what's really happening. It's just like I deal in the athlete world, and I told I was having an argument with one of my boys. Like, if you look at the greatest of the great, they have this maniacal gene inside of them that no one else has, that no one else can reach. They can't reach a certain level because they're not willing to do the things. They're not willing to cuss some people out. They're not willing. They're not willing to see somebody having a conversation and just like, hey, I need to get here. Y'all in the way. You know what I mean? So I think that you just got to be a shark, and when you smell that blood in the water, you got to go get it and go attack. Like that nice shit is cool. I already knew from the jump. I knew from the jump that me, a 6'6" black man, I couldn't have certain conversations with people. I couldn't be in certain spaces just the way that my voice projected and things like that. So it was just like, you go do that. You go have this conversation. You go do this because I know there are some advantages to my disposition and there are major disadvantages. So it's like, I'm not even going to put myself at the disadvantage trying to go talk to these, mid-aged white women or whatever, trying to negotiate this deal or whatnot. So, you like, especially in the nonprofit, you have certain privileges and advantages that other sectors don't have. Like in the nonprofit, you could just start up fundraisers, et cetera, without all the legalities to it because you're not doing it on a large scale. And in the nonprofit, like I have my nonprofit, they'll backdate you. The IRS will backdate you from your inception. The time you incepted your idea, they'll backdate your 501c3 letter to that date. But you always got to think of where you think as if you are where you want to be, because if you think from the space of where you are, you're gonna stay within that framework.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention if I could, super quick, Rob, I just wanted to.
Oh man, go ahead, Rob. I already know what.
I just wanted to make sure that we're all aware that that my brother Shahid stated twice thus far that he's athletic. Mika, Journey, I just want to make sure that you all are also making note of that. Continue, Rob, please.
Why?
You're going to be clear.
Yeah.
Just be clear.
So, Journey, I agree with both Shan was saying and what Shahid was just saying. Most successful
Hey,
woman
Rob,
that I know that owns
super
that
quick,
runs a
Rob.
nonprofit. I know
Rob.
I said it, but I
No,
agree.
no, I just
Hey,
want to
don't
ask. I
answer
need
her,
a
man. Come on.
question. Are you an athlete? Then we don't want to hear from you if not.
Yeah, I'm
Go
at
ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
woman that I know that actually does run a nonprofit. She
Mhm.
balances her niceness. I've seen her be cutthroat, and I've seen her be a sweetheart. Work with men who have women that don't like that she works with them. She's an attractive woman. She's open to talk to anybody. I've seen her talk to the richest people that she knows, down to bums on the street. She'll have a full blown hour long conversation with them, and we'll be back at the time. But that is a hard fact, and it's something that's both, like they were saying with dating, being able to turn on that niceness as soon as you get home, and put it in when you're out in the business world. Having that trueness is a benefit, but if you learn how to bring that shrewdness in, you can let it go. You can be flirty. You can be nice. You can incorporate the man's secretary, wife, or whatever the case is, comfortable. But the lady that I'm speaking about, the biggest quality she has, whether the woman likes her or not, she don't give a damn whether the man likes her or not. She's there for business. You're not going to be
Yes.
there. If you're not going to push my mission forward, then I'm going to try my best to get what I can moving forward to the next thing. And that steady drive, I didn't think she can get to, and it's nice. Having your elevator pitch, I believe it was Earl, and maybe Colin a little bit, was talking about
Rob,
having, yeah.
your audio sucks, bro. You going in and out.
Did it go bad? It shouldn't
Yeah.
be going bad. Maybe I'm not talking loud enough.
Did you buy the microphones?
No, I'm still on the iPad.
Do you have any headphones with you?
No, we don't want headphones. We tried that. We don't want headphones.
I need y'all to stop.
So
I mean, he's not breaking up on my side. He just sounds higher pitched
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
No, he's going in and out. Am I?
Not on my side.
So it's like I'm hearing
Is it
a
only?
word and it's going out.
He's on the screen.
so
Is it only?
one
What's on
You're
the
good,
screen?
Rob. I think it's
Yeah,
Chris
I mean,
is using my
Y'all
internet.
still looking at here.
It look like you're in an eye doctor's office.
one
with
other
that thing back on the wall.
not Jerron.
one other caveat I'd like to add to the discussion is, some people see it as combativeness, other people see it as conflict, and some conflict is good. It's good for business. The question is, you have to ask yourself, how well do you resolve conflicts? And if you do that well, combativeness is how they see it, but on your end, you just, you're in your lane solving problems.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Cool.
Hey,
Quick question.
um,
Mika, did you have a second question?
well, I asked also, Chris, I wanted to see if Mika wanted to chime in on specifically what we were talking about, just in case you had any thoughts or anything you wanted to offer, Journey, or anything that resonates with you from her experience.
Say
Yeah, it's definitely ask
Yeah,
a black woman anything.
nothing,
For sure.
nothing really.
Yeah, Wes.
I
Let's
was
just change the show name.
There it is. Done.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say, journey, like for my experience, I also have an entrepreneur. I have been for the last 4 years, business in the industry that I'm in, and it's not because I'm nice. I can tell you that when it comes to like contracts and negotiations, you have to stand firm, and you only can still work. And for you, you know your mission, so you have to, like they say, stand and push forward. And sometimes when you're in those rooms and you're faced with those, like I say, sometimes you just have to know maybe that's not the room for you, and
Yeah.
you have to move. So I would just say take that as well, as like a sign. Sometimes you're not going to work for everybody, so sometimes you're faced with those situations to need to be.
No wind to hold 'em. No wind to hold 'em.
Thank you.
Journey, I'm gonna come back to you real fast. And I'm
You
gonna
know
ask
what?
you this. So earlier you said that you were spicy,
You said it
right?
didn't matter. I was doing it for no reason and let it go.
I didn't. I know. I mean, I said you didn't know
Wow.
why. I didn't say it didn't matter. I said you
I
didn't know
thought we
why.
was gonna move. I thought we was gonna move.
Oh no, I'm not. No, because I think that's the stupidest thing that women can do is be
We
spicy,
know.
right? There's a way to challenge a man, and I don't think being spicy is the way. I think that and if Mika is you still here, you're welcome to stay on if you want to add in. I don't think that you're spicy, by the way, Mika. But Journey, I can just kind of see like you like you ready to
That
just
I'm
put on.
spicy.
You know what I mean? But being
No.
spicy doesn't help. Like
You
being
see how
spicy
you
might help
judging
your
a book by
business.
its cover?
Nah,
Look,
nah. I mean, I'm typically spot on when like I can like I've been doing online dating for like 5-6 years. So when I'm
I've never
swiping,
done it.
that's fine. I can pretty much tell like okay, yeah, she got an attitude. I can look and tell. Like before you even said you were spicy, I already knew. I'm like, yeah, she no nonsense. She probably like either a fire sign or she a Taurus. You know, like
Wrong, wrong,
Journey,
wrong.
I said
Journey,
probably. I said probably.
baby girl, you be as
Here
spicy
come the
as you want to
captain.
be.
Here come the captain.
You be as spicy as you want to be. Listen, I'm a
Where's
person
Cape at?
who
Where's Cape at?
it's
Hey, it ain't no cape.
Here
It ain't
goes
no
Cape. Here goes Cape.
it ain't no
listen, listen,
He got
Journey.
his
It's
cape. Dun, dun,
look, look,
dun, dun,
we
dun,
have
dun,
to
Hey,
dun.
if spicy is what you are, there's a lot of people, a lot of men who actually
they love
appreciate
spicy food.
sarcasm
that's
and
spicy.
wit and all the things that come with that, and that might be spicy at times.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of you when it comes to your personal life, finding someone who can appreciate that spicy part of you. You don't
Yeah.
need to change that in order to
That's a
fit
lie.
the mold of somebody else.
That's
If
a
you
lie.
Hey,
if you
Shaheed,
if
let's stop production on that red lightsaber. The one that we was getting made for him. We could just call
yeah,
the
Ooh.
manufacturer, tell him
Hey,
tell him he
hey,
can
I
stop.
told you.
I'm here
Look,
to tell you, Journey.
he got his
This
cape.
listen. I'm
Uh-uh.
just here to tell you, Journey, that listen, you
Dun,
being
dun,
who you are,
dun, 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 dun,
the
dun.
most authentic version of yourself is good
Captain
enough for the
Saber.
man that's for you. That's what I want to tell
I mean, like honestly though, like
Out of here.
I've always been the type to I enjoy spicy women because I've been in
you. Is
a
athletes like Spice? Is
no, I mean I've heard and I know I can be intimidating to people at times. So like like as a man, I like to be challenged. I like to still get my skills sharpened.
All
So like
fact.
if I'm out in a space where it's a bunch of motherfuckers that ain't even looking my way to challenge me, sometimes that's all I got is my woman to challenge me. Because these motherfuckers ain't stupid enough to challenge me. So it's just like I've always have been attracted to the woman that's going like bark back a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's like that shit don't rattle me. Like it don't like I've seen men that and it's not this ain't to direct it towards Chris or nothing, but a lot of men don't like the shit because they can't it fuck them up. It's like that dog when they barking and you open that gate, it's like, oh shit, what happens? So like I don't know. I've never been the one to run away from, like, because I've never been like, I can say this. This is the honest to God truth. I've never been disrespected by a woman in a relationship. I've never been called out my name. Like, so it's just like
what spicy are you talking about then? What do you call spicy?
But
if you ain't never had no controversy like that, what you call spicy?
That's disrespect. That's not spice.
Yeah.
I don't.
So what is spice? So give me spice, because I can tell you right now what you say when you say you like the little. See, the thing is, there's a term called death by 1,000 cuts, right? Mm-hmm. So in short term relationships, oh yeah, my girl, man, she be talking that shit. I like that. That turns me on. I like it when she buck up a little bit. I like that. I need a woman. I can handle that until you get married. And until you live with that. Until you live with that. And that shit is day in and day out, week after week, month after month for the rest of your damn life. Yeah, then you start then that dog that's barking in the yard that you can't shut up, but you can't get rid of either. And the motherfucker ain't gonna stop barking.
No, you open the gate. Then you start
saying, God damn, what the hell? It was cute when we were dating. It was cute. It was nice when we first met. It was cute at first, but now it's like, God damn. So what is spicy exactly, Shahid?
Oh, Shahid.
Well, let Johnny jump in. Johnny was going to break it down. Go ahead.
So
what's spicy?
When I say spicy, I don't mean like having an attitude or like complaining all the time.
You got an attitude, Johnny. Tell the truth.
I'm about to have one.
That's it, right there. That's
Come
it.
on.
Right.
You see, I ain't sitting back. I ain't backing down.
Get ready to rumble.
No, but I'm saying
But I shut it up real fast.
Like Shahid said, like I'm quick with it. So if you say something funny, like we're gonna joke all day. Like I'm really a jokester. I don't take a lot of things.
That's different though.
But that's spicy to me.
Yeah, okay, so that's
I'm not talking about I'm mad all day, or you didn't get me no ice in my drink, so now I got an attitude with you all day. Oh, I don't eat meat and you done brought me a burger, so I'm mad. Like it's not like that, but we're gonna be quick with it. Oh, you tripped me today? Watch it tomorrow. Watch yourself, because I'm getting it.
Did I miss something? Are we still talking about the nonprofit, or was that's about relationships?
We done went way over.
Yeah, we talking about spicy executive directors that need to be be a shrewd businesswomen at the meetings to make sure she can get that $250,000 grant, but then also be soft and feminine with her husband at home.
Wait. Can I finish my question?
Go ahead.
So not relationship, but this is still talking about business, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still, it's the correlation between the two. Can you turn it off? Is it something that you can switch on and off? You know, that's kind of like the gist of it.
Oh yeah, because she was talking about negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
Because I work with nonprofits a lot with my company, so. I'm not met with any. I don't know. I guess I really can't contribute to this conversation. Never mind. Just go on. Next.
If y'all can hear, if my mic is.
Oh, Robert, don't come on like that.
It's all hugs, because I understand the spiciness. I understand that being able and willing to talk shit to somebody, and it's all in fun. It's an adorable trait, and it's also something you can use in business. Being that quick with it, that's something I don't think anybody should lose if you have it. Like if you just got it, use it to your advantage. So,
you know what else I think is adorable?
You gotta stop saving these women, bro.
How my protege likes to follow in my footsteps. Man, I think that's adorable.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Skywalker back at it again.
I gotta stop being afraid to open up the gate on the barking dog. I've done that shit before. Like once I realize these dogs is all bark, I just open the fucking gate up.
Why'd you open the gate, Shahid?
Because I knew it's all bark.
And what I actually believe, a lot of men actually enjoy that banter, enjoy that intrigue into their mind, something that can get their mind going and have them having conversation and have them having fun and laughing. But there's some people who see a person like that as just strictly confrontational, and that's not it. Like, have fun. Like,
yeah.
But even just as a man though, like on the deeper level, let's take it to a deeper level. Like, okay, it's not always joking, and it is some like real challenging shit.
Mhm.
Like you have to break through to that next level of your manhood. Like I don't think any of us here think that we've hit the ceiling on just as men in totality as men. So it's just like if I keep on like not in the physical sense, but if we gotta fight, we gotta fight. And if somebody's gonna lose, take the L, and it ain't gonna be me. And that fight, that's what I'm saying. Like that gate that I'm opening up the figurative door to this fucking relationship. And if you think this shit is gonna continue, you can walk the fuck out. Cause I've never like, and I think the reason I've been successful in my relationships is it's just like it's always I'm hitting a new level of myself after each one. So like the challenge and shit, okay, cool, challenge me because it might be something that I'm not doing as a man to reach that next pinnacle of myself. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like again, I've never been in a situation where a woman has just disrespected me. I've never been in a situation where like I've been, you know what I mean? I've never been in these spaces. Like that death by 1,000 cuts shit is cool. A woman never getting 1,000 cuts on me. Like ever.
That's a good point.
Like you can't reach 1,000 on me. So I get it, but I don't know. I just can't see myself that the death by 1,000 cuts. That's crazy to me.
And then, you know, even with those type of relationships, you got to be willing to have a conversation. And that line, it shouldn't. That's when you set your foot down as a man and say, "Hey, this is in this move. This is not a time to joke. You can hold your jokes till later on, but right now."
But I
She
also
said
think,
something earlier though, where she made a point, and I want to go back to that. I think she said the statement, "That's just how I am," or you know, "This is how I am." And I hate when people say statements like that. They're just the way I am or whatever, because it breeds about
And
excuses.
Jerron doesn't hate anything.
But it brings about excuses because you think about it. That's just how I am. Well, just because that's who you are as a person, it doesn't mean that you can change, because it makes it seem like you're not willing to be open to change, or you're not willing to kind of do like the inner work to change. Because, I mean, we can always make excuses. Oh, yeah, well, I argue a lot, or, you know, I fuss and fight all the time. But it's just how I am, though. And everybody's not going to be able to accept that. I mean, because at some point in time, everybody you come across is not just going to accept that's just how I am. Even in the work field, like everybody you come in contact with in the work field, you can't just tell that person, "Oh, that's just how I am. That's just how I do this work," or "This is just how I act," or "This is just how I behave," because everybody's not going to take it as an excuse. And when a person makes statements such as that, it makes it seem to me like they're not willing to even think about being adaptive. You know, being able to adapt to you know, to their situations or surroundings, or being able to make any type of change, because that's an excuse. "Oh, that's just how I am."
but I think
And
So,
so,
So why would she want
what'd you
to
say?
change from?
Say it again, Mika.
You said, why would
I
you want to
was
change?
saying, so why would she want to change? For me, I feel like that's not a point. If that's her personality. So if you can accept that part of her personality, then it shouldn't be in her space. So either you're going to stay in the space and adapt to her personality, or then leave.
right.
Like she's
We all got to be
saying
willing to
that
make
that's her
growth, though. We got
personality.
to change and make some.
I'm gonna
I
say
mean, growth.
I'm gonna chime in on this. I'm gonna chime in because, like, when you talk about change and growth is really big for me. Like, I'm it's really big. I work like inner work is really big. So when it comes to like like you said, like Mika said, my personality is a little witty, it's a little spicy. That's how I'm goofy basically. So like you said, that part of my personality, I might be able to adjust it in different atmospheres, but then it feels like I'm not being true to myself because who I
Right.
truly am is I'm goofy. I'm a crack
Right.
jokes and I'm quick witted. Like if you say something to me, I might be able to pull a movie line out of, or a rap line, or a song lyric or whatever it is, or something that I've seen.
Right.
I'm quick like that. So if I'm in an atmosphere, and that's what I'm coming to. If I'm in an atmosphere and I'm not able to truly be my authentic self and have those quick wits and things like that, I feel like I'm dimming my light and I'm not being true to true to who I
Journey,
am.
you from LA, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Journey,
No, by
you
all
just
means, be
you hit
yourself,
the,
though, Trent. I'm not talking about even that. I'm talking about, there's other situations where people make the statements, they're just how I am. So, if
Huh?
that's your personality and that's who you are as a person, be authentic, be who you are, be who you were called to be. But there are other situations that actually exist in life where people do make those excuses. Well, they're just how I am. So I can't do this particular thing because they're just how I am.
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people hide behind that excuse of they're just how I am because they're afraid to kind of grow or they're afraid to step outside their comfort zone because they don't know what may be on the other side. But if we continue to hide behind that's just how I am, we might not know what's out there on the other side until we step outside of that comfort zone and take that chance. So I'm not even talking about personality wise, because if
Come
that's
on.
who you are as a person, be that person. But in other situations where people do make statements such as "they're just how I am," I feel like a lot of times they're just an excuse for people to stay where they feel comfortable at and not step outside their comfort zone to actually go on the other side and to see what could possibly be.
They're
No,
using that
And
instead of let them grow.
go ahead.
Sharon, really quick, I'll be brief. I was actually having that conversation with someone earlier today, and I definitely understand what you're saying. And it's just a fine line between, you know, uh, being who you are and learned behavior. And so I think at the end of the day, it's really about testing that, and only you can do that internally, which is to see, to really check yourself and figure out, does this part of you matter? This particular behavior or way that you present, does it affect you? Do you feel good about it? If you do, then that's a point in the column for keeping that part of you intact. Or, if you look at a particular behavior and you see that it doesn't serve you well, or that it often offends or hurts other people, then that's a check in the column for the reverse. So I think it's just a personal thing that you have to determine. Only you know what's your personality. I'm listening to you, and I feel like I know you, like what you're saying about who you are. That's who I am, and that's what I love in other people, especially of the opposite sex when I meet them. That quick wit, that sarcasm, and ability to banter it and volley back and forth. And so that it's going to, now that even in itself, that part of your personality will certainly rub people the wrong way, some people, but those aren't the people that's for you. And one thing at the end of the day, I think we have to keep in mind is compatibility. Yes, we should also always be open to evolving and changing and growing, but compatibility is something that we overlooked, and we overlook, especially women. And they're too, in my opinion, from my perspective, they're too anxious to actually change to fit someone, as opposed to practice the patience it takes to find someone who fits who they actually are.
Now, I agree with
Hey,
you. Go ahead, DB.
I think I'm definitely enjoying the conversation, but I think it's levels to this because you got to know when to turn it on and turn it off. You can play the long game, but chew a pack of chewing gum at some point it's going to lose its flavor. So you, you definitely gotta really pick and choose how you're going to be strategic with your spice. I mean, because when you definitely, if this is who you are, okay, I ain't trying to change you. I just need to know where I fit in at, and then I can know how to deal with it. So, uh, yeah, definitely, don't lose you who you are or dumb yourself down to level up to somebody's expectations or acceptance of you.
Yeah, I think now we are talking about in the context of a relationship, but outside that context, like I agree with Jerron wholeheartedly about, like, that is kind of an excuse that people use to not be a real well-rounded person. Like, for example, if this is who you are and this is how you are, you should be that way in every type of situation that presents itself, no matter who's around. Like, if you that type of dude that's gonna fire on him for disrespect, don't not do it because this is a particular audience or whatnot. Like, if that's who you are, this is who you are in every circumstance, right? And I think that is where, like, you see things happen like what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. I don't believe that's who Will Smith truly is. I think it was a lot of stuff boiled over, but whatever. But I'm a well-rounded person. One of my character traits is patience. One of my character traits is discipline. So I can feel disrespect. Like I can feel disrespected right now on this stage and not flip out. And then I could address the person that I felt disrespected by, in a private conversation, and pick up the phone, shoot, whatever, because that's who I am. Like I know how to not flip out, fuck the show up, and then now you know what I mean. So I definitely think we have to get out of that mentality of that's just how I am. Now, if it is something that just you feel uncomfortable in your own skin because you can't be this way around people, then absolutely you stick to your guns and who you are, and that just might not be the environment for you. But I think we all have we're well-rounded enough to practice discipline and patience to pull that person to the side or let them get away with a slight disrespect this one time, and then the next time it happened, you and all you're right, you can go full throttle at them. So I definitely agree with Jerron on that point.
And he's 6'6" and athletic, ladies.
Stupid.
And he checks his watch. He's punctual.
He on time.
He's on time.
That was good, ladies. Y'all got any follow-up questions?
Not at this time. I might next time.
Got you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Journey. I think it was kind of bold of you to
We can't hear
come
you,
and put
Chris.
yourself.
Chris, we can't hear you. Sit up.
You can't hear me?
There you go.
I can hear.
Oh, I think it was. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think it was bold of you to come in and share your experience and be vulnerable, right? Both you and Mika. Um, it is a daunting task for a lot of women to come and sit on a panel with 8 guys, right? A lot of women have that come to the show are intimidated because they see seasoned vets, athletic gentlemen, top hats and such, therapists, and then guys with bad audio that just can never get it right from week to week. You know, it seems intimidating, but we are probably the nicest group of guys that give you some of the most positive advice. So what I would say to both of you ladies, if you would, first, hopefully you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Cut a clip of yourself and put it on your social media pages. Share it with your friends, your family, and let them know that you've been on one of the best, if not the best show in all of the land. So I want to welcome you to come back at any time. Cam up, you can email us your questions. If you don't remember them, if you have questions throughout the week and you want to ask us next week Thursday, you're welcome to do that, and then just join us back live. We would love to see you again. But that quick wit is not spicy, just for the record.
Oh, okay. Well, I like
It's not. That's not spicy.
We can
Spicy.
talk about it later. I like
Yeah.
to call it spicy.
Yeah, you can hit me on my IG right there. Spicy is I'm gonna be sharp tongue. I'm gonna say something to try to cut you, and that's what I'm saying. I ain't with like
Not spicy, Chris. That's disrespect.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, like
Nah,
No.
that's spicy. That's spicy because spicy is
so-
typically attributed
wait.
to the Latina community, the Puerto Rican from New York, and the neck snapping, finger popping. That's spicy. That's what that is. Now, is it disrespectful? It could be, depending on who you talk to. Disrespect is subjective
Correct.
to the person you're talking to, but it is spicy. Nevertheless, now being quick-witted and being able to come back with a quick snap and being fast on her feet with her thoughts and being and joking, that's not spicy to me. I don't
Nah,
see
that's
that
not.
as spicy.
Gumbo.
Hey,
You
Shan,
said you Dumbo?
Gumbo.
Wait. What you know about gumbo?
she
Where you from?
say she
Well, we talking about gumbo.
Yeah, it's gonna be gumbo.
Who cooking gumbo?
I'm from Louisiana. You can't say gumbo around me
Yes,
and not
my roots
expecting.
is from Louisiana. I can say that.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Shan,
But Journey's in
just want
LA,
to
Wes. We could pull up. She got if she making gumbo.
You making gumbo? Yeah, you talk to us. You
She
making
in LA.
gumbo?
I
I
had
said since
gumbo
y'all
in
don't like
years.
spicy. Oh, you missing out. I said since y'all don't like spicy, I'm gonna call it gumbo because it's quick witted and just.
Oh, okay. See,
Sometimes.
that's that
See?
wittiness. That's that wittiness
You
coming out.
gonna say a lot of time that spiciness that comes from that Brat community. So, Shan, you know what I mean, right?
The what
Yeah.
community?
The Brat community.
Brat. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I gotta get familiar.
you're gonna have to look up what the Brats are and Brat.
You a spoiled brat?
Get familiar.
Wow.
He's saying you're a spoiled brat. That's what he really saying, low key.
Nah, you
That's
gotta-
what it's
No.
That's what he's
No,
saying.
no.
Low key, he's saying you're a
you gotta go
spoiled
through the
brat. So since you don't get your way, you know what I mean. You gotta be.
That ain't the brat he was referring to.
If you don't get your way, you gotta make a way.
Look at you.
Or you gotta be tame. You gotta have
Say that.
Hey?
Ooh, pain.
Oh, wait, what is going on? What time is it? Is it?
And that's a show for you. You see, hey Shan, you see how she said tamed? Yeah, she's spicy as fuck. She's spicy. She ain't with. Hey, let me ask you a question, Journey, because you asked us a question. Matter of fact, Mika and Journey. Mika, I want you to go first. Journey, I want you to go second.
Anything?
Why I think
Journey, it's fine. Journey, you go first. Journey, do you believe in being submissive?
Yes, I do.
Before, after,
But
or
she gonna fight
during?
it. And then she'll be
Wait, you
submissive.
said before, after, or what?
Before them, let's say before marriage. Have you ever been married before?
No.
Okay, so before marriage or after marriage, should you be submissive?
You can be submissive before. I feel like it should be a balance.
Fair, Mika.
That was a trick question. You failed.
It is trick. That's okay.
it depends. It depends. Fully understand that person's definition of submissive. Or I can say yes or no.
Well, I'm just asking you.
Mika ain't
Asking
having
your
it.
opinion, your overall opinion, not
Who is with that judgy background talk? Like we don't hear
Yes.
you for this, you good at. Oh, you grown, you failed. Who is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Colin. That was Colin.
right there. There you go.
They being disrespectful. You better.
Hold on, what happened?
Colin ain't said nothing.
Yeah, I ain't say one word.
No, it's
Colin
Obi-Wan
said
is
you
over here
failed.
acting up.
No.
so-
Colin said she failed. It was a trick question. She
And then
failed.
said you was hurt. No.
I got a question. Mika, you done with your answer?
Sorry, Mika.
No, you good.
I got a question to the fellas because I'm a little different. Would you rather a woman come into the situation already submissive to you, or do you want to earn her submission?
I don't like your tone of voice, brother.
That's a good
Both
one.
actually. Like I mean, for me, it's not an either or there. Like I want a woman to know what it is.
No, I'm not letting you off the hook, Chris. No, we're not doing
I'm about to answer.
No. Do you want a woman to come in fully submissive, or do you want to earn her submission? It can't be both. That's impossible. That's a squared circle.
Fully submissive?
No.
Come in where, Shahid? Where come in where?
Into her interaction with you.
Interaction.
Not fully submissive. Because if I say something and she, not fully submissive. Because for me, fully submissive is what I say goes. Like, and you don't have no say. So if that's your definition, fully submissive, the answer is no. I want to earn it.
Young bull. That's the dictatorship. That ain't no
Right.
But I'm saying, but still fully submissive. You know, there's no real pushback. There's you're the leader, and I've been in a situation like that. It ain't.
That goes
I mean, I run over women like that. I can't.
But you don't want somebody with spice. That don't make sense.
No, this is not
That
spice.
makes sense. You gonna run over her if she give you everything you want, but you don't want you want no seasoning.
No. See, there's a difference between a mature, wise woman than a woman that's spicy, right? A woman that's helpful, a woman that's mature. She knows how to speak into me. She knows how to speak to me. She challenges my thought process to make me think outside of my current thinking. That's how I like to be challenged. I don't like you to get up in my face or oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't with all that. Like
That's
I
not
can deal with
you.
it.
That's not the same thing. That's not. See you.
But I'm just
You think
I'm
that's
just
what
telling
I'm
you
out.
what I want. Like,
Yeah,
Shaheed,
Chris
let
working
me
with a different definition.
Shaheed, let me go ahead on and answer your question. I would prefer that it be a healthy earned submission, because I know I possess the leadership qualities that she would want to follow, and I already know if she ain't jiving with you how you lead, she ain't submitting. So I like that workup process, because where I am now at my age, I need that. Back when I was a young buck, I didn't care because I wasn't thinking about submission. I was the Lord. That was it. Now I'm trying to love on a woman as I lead her, and I want to earn some things, but that doesn't necessarily take away from her being the individual woman she needs to be to me. So I don't need her to be submissive to me in the beginning. I can earn that. I'm down for that.
I think though, in my dating experience, what I've seen just off sheer observation, well, I've seen that women that have strong male support systems, you're not gonna get this submission off the bat, because they want to see, they are observing you and your leadership ability to see if you can properly lead them. Like it wouldn't make sense. Like the women that are kind of lost and misguided, they go into situations in all out submission mode, and that's how they get manipulated at the mind. They get worked over. They get their heart stepped on and played with, because they go into these situations without a certain guard up, without a certain, like, hey, is this dude? Can I take this dude to meet my father? How so I've never really experienced full submission from a woman that had a good support system. They had men around him that I respect. Like I don't like, if you come in already on some submissive with me, I'm like, yeah, I don't. That ain't the woman for me. Like if I don't want that woman that's just cooking for me off the bat. Like let
But
me earn.
why does she need to guard up with you?
You
That
said what?
argument that a lot of people, why does she need it? It's like everybody says, you know what? That's the woman that the woman that comes in and is like this. She's the one that's gonna get ran over. She's gonna get taken advantage of. She doesn't have. But everybody that says, I say, well, why does she need? Does she need to worry about getting ran over by you? Does she need to worry
No,
about that from you? Are you? Why does she need to have a guard up with you?
she don't need to have a guard. She needs to have a guard up, period, for her own personal care.
Protection, yeah.
With you? But she's with you
Period.
now.
No, she's not with me. I'm just trying to get her attention and interact with her. It's my responsibility to get her to trust me in order to let that guard down.
So Shahid, you said something. Just in my experience, what I've observed, not just my own actual experience, but also what I've observed in other relationships and in women. I think I found the opposite. I tend to find that women who have good, strong male support systems
Thank you,
tend
Wes.
to be more submissive, and oftentimes it's because they've had enough examples, usually of good men. Because if they're a support system for her, then there's a greater chance that these are good men versus
And
versus
she
not.
has discernment. She has
Right?
Right?
discernment to make sure that
Exactly.
she's picking somebody.
That's discernment.
It,
Discernment is that guard.
but well, to finish what I'm saying, because Shan, you're hitting it on the head, which is simply usually those women have seen examples of what submission can be like and seen examples of good men. Therefore, they're not afraid to submit. And in that, to your point, Shan, they've learned from that same support system and from their observations of those men in their life, they've also learned how to vet and what and how to be discerning. And
That's the
so
guard. The vetting and the discernment is the guard.
right. So a woman, so I would say this, a woman who comes in who is very discerning should be able to see a athletic 6'6" horse rider like yourself. That woman should be discerning enough to know, to be able to make the decision early on that she will be submissive because she's discerning about Shahid and she knows what she has um, in him
Let me
because of that
set,
discernment.
hey Wes, let me set the scene for you. You remember, even though this is a movie, you remember the original Coming to America?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how old girl was? Bark like
Yeah.
a dog.
Whatever you
A big
like.
dog.
Whatever you like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we ain't trying to get that.
Right. No doubt. No doubt.
We trying to get the other woman, the one that gave pushback,
Lisa.
and it made it more interesting. That's how we trying to get down.
Exactly.
That is what I call spicy. Even though he had to earn that, he was still respected in his position because now she sees who he is because it was a trial and error thing. It wasn't barking like a dog. Woof, woof, what jumping around
Why
on
do
one
y'all
leg.
use these extremes? Why do y'all use extremes to get your points across?
That's not
That's
just
because life
concubine. You talk about slavery. Y'all go all the way to slavery to make it.
I'm just saying,
You go to the king. You go to the king slave women that make sure his royal penis is clean to use your examples and shit.
but Shan, life is extreme right now. That's why it is it's a big divide in women, black women and men making serious healthy connections because the extreme, the gulf is wide.
Here's a more realistic example. This is a red flag for me. If on the first date a woman is willing to allow me to pick her up and go on a date with me in my vehicle, that's a red flag for me. Because
really,
I wouldn't, because for one, now I'm uncomfortable because I don't know how this interaction is gonna go. And I don't want to have to leave your ass in this cheesecake factory or
so you telling me, Shahid, that you are not on a first date? Let's just call it the OG first date. It's like, yo, you got to catch an Uber just for your own safety.
I'll meet you.
I would hope she
or
have
I'll
her
meet
own.
you there.
Yes, I would hope she have
Yeah, that's definitely not the old school way of doing things.
Sure, not you
I
don't
don't
need to
know.
go around.
I get the safety.
But also,
I wish you
but
guys.
also that actually
that's
also speaks to the vetting process.
Nah, but hold on. Let me
I
go
meet
over
you
that
on the
script.
first date and I can't pick you up, then I think, and I mean, this is not to, again, not to you, Shahid, but I think you're a person who says I can't pick you up. I haven't vetted you long enough to know how things are going to go. I'm not taking you on a first date after the first time I meet you. Let's say we match on an app or I meet you out in public. I'm talking to you for 3, 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days before I even mention a date. Because
I'm
I
gonna
need
get
to have good conversation and good flow before I take you out. And if the flow is good enough, I can trust you to pick you up.
that's
Man,
great.
ain't nobody got all the time. Ain't
I
nobody
would
got
trust
all
you
the
to
time.
pick it up because
That's
you
great.
You
don't
said
know
what,
how
DB?
Let Shahid respond. Go ahead,
That's
Shahid.
great, Chris. I'm gonna get back to that. But Robert says something and I don't know who it was addressed to, but Rob said that's not the old school way. But see, when we talk about the old school way, we pick and choose because the old school way would be I would go to her house and pick her up and yada yada yada.
Meet
But
her folks, right?
it would also be a male there checking me out, seeing if I'm somebody he's willing to trust to let this
Yep.
woman go with me. So we
Yep.
can't pick and choose when we go, the old school way,
You have
I
a
go pick her up, but then it ain't no male there to be supervising and making sure I'm a solid dude to be handing this woman
But
off to.
ain't nobody out there gonna be supervising what you 35, 33? Ain't nobody out there gonna be super. He shouldn't be home
So
supervising who she is.
I
Going out
agree.
with
So
like
Well,
why we
technically he should,
right,
but
exactly. So why are we talking about the
technically
old
he
school
should.
way? If we talking about the old school way, we got to include every
I mean,
aspect of the
she
old.
But
And we want
Rob,
that dowry too.
what Shahid is saying, Rob, is that it doesn't have to be a father. She should just have a community of people to say, "Hey, look, Nah, not that Joker. He a bum, not him. Or this guy, he's solid. I've heard about him. I've researched him. Whatever the case is, there should be somebody in a woman's life that can help her vet people. There should be somebody in a man's life that can
Well, I'm
add
just
some
curious,
balance because we can't see
Chris.
everything.
What is the fear, Shaheed, of
Okay,
picking up a woman
Chris.
on the first
Let me.
date? What you worried about? Y'all
not a-
arguing
it's
at the
not-
restaurant? Does she need a ride home?
But
It's
but
not a
ain't
fear
you one of the people who
because
say multi-dating is a
They got
thing that women should do?
they got
It's
Uber.
more. It's
And
more
if
fear for women though, man. You see all these women dying going on first dates with these
I'm
dudes
be honest, you're
and
not picking me
dying.
up
Exactly.
on no first
I'm
day.
saying
You're
the
not
Uber's
picking
still
me
there.
up.
Like
I
that's
will,
still an option.
yeah,
yeah,
You're not
I will
picking
drive myself.
man, look, so it's not a fear, Shen. It's also a protection for myself and for her, right? We've had this conversation a million times. Who pays for the bill? Blah blah blah, whatever. But if anything goes wrong, no matter what it is, I want her to be able to leave whenever she wants to leave. I don't want her to be a prisoner of me at any moment. If I say something that offends you, you don't like this date, you can get up and go.
That's
You don't
always
have
an
to.
option, though. Ain't that an option anyway?
Not if you
No,
drove.
She
Oh
can take an
wow.
there's
Uber.
Uber.
I'm not. I don't want to fight against because me and Shaheed. He's my only red lightsaber person, so I ain't
nah,
trying to come. But I ain't.
But
I don't
Shaheed,
know. I don't know.
if
I'm
she
gonna just
wants to
bow
get
out
up
of
and
this
go,
one.
she can take an Uber, right?
yeah,
I'm
but
just tripping on the fact that like y'all make it seem like ain't nobody having no conversation before y'all go out.
no, I
Like there
agree.
should
But
be some
Chris,
some
okay,
caking.
no, look, listen. Chris said 5 to 7 days before they talking about a date, right? So you mean to tell me within that first few weeks, it's okay for her to know, so she can know where you can know where she lives?
No.
So for me,
No,
Times have
so
changed, man.
for
no.
me personally, yes, because I
Why?
I believe that like you said, she should have
You Prince,
safeguards,
you
right?
Prince Charming.
Um, no, I'm not Prince Charming, but I'm also searchable, right? That's the thing. Like if you look up my
Don't
name,
matter.
you'll
Yeah.
That don't
see.
matter,
You are.
Chris.
She isn't.
But
That don't matter.
let me answer the
We are in
question,
the
right?
safest time we are currently in the safest era in the human history. And like everybody always makes it seem like there's some Jeffrey Dahmer out there that's gonna eat motherfuckers up in
Hey, it is.
2022.
It
No,
is.
it's not. No, it's not. And the data doesn't bear that out. I get, you all these women that's out here getting killed. It was a whole lot more 30 years ago. It's not. You hear the ones that because communication and the internet, and because we have social media and CNN and all this, it was way worse a long time
In
ago.
front of your face now.
So it's
People die
in
every
the
day.
amount of abductions and assaults and all that other kind of stuff should not rather, let me say, should not instill this innate fear in everybody, because now everybody's scared of everybody and everybody don't want to talk, and that's why that we use social media and we don't know anything, and there's no more. What happened to human interaction? If we're gonna be worried about somebody taking somebody on a date,
It's not about taking them on a date, Shan. It's about how we get to this, the transportation to the date.
But
I'm not talking.
So
the
let me
I ain't
science
gonna
answer.
ain't
Let
fight
me
you,
answer the
Shaheed.
question,
You're
Shaheed.
the only one I got, Shaheed. So I ain't gonna fight you.
So let me answer the question, right? For me, if just for me, in the first 5 to 7 days, if a
Just
woman
for
meets me,
me.
yes, it's okay for me to know where she lives because I know I like
Yeah,
I
women
have
don't have no problem
safeguards
telling
up
me where they live.
where she'll know it's okay for me to come and pick her up. You feel me? So we talk about my connections, who I'm connected to. We talk about the things I'm connected to. So there's not a problem for me. Now for other people, it may be completely different,
What does
right?
that
Yes, you
mean?
can't.
Okay, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things, Chris?
So for me, because I'm connected to a lot of people and things. My god brother is a police officer for the APD. I got a buddy that a real good brother that works for the federal government. He's an ADA. So when we are talking about those things, when I talk about I'm a dad and I'm not willing to risk anything, that's a safeguard where she said she doesn't have to say, oh, okay, well,
No, it's not.
it's like, oh, okay, he's safer than some of these other idiots that
You
have
know
no
what ranch? You know what ranch he works at? You know how many horses he has? You know where you know his
And you still
cousin.
come up missing.
You know,
I'm not even.
you know how many. You know
He
all
just
about
That
them
works.
horses. You
help
watch
if
this.
I
That
know.
works for
Right
Chris,
now,
but not
you
for the
can
average
learn
civilian
more
anyway.
about an
So
individual today. You can learn more about an individual today before you ever meet them than you ever could have. You know how many
sure.
cousins. You know where. You know what he wore at the family reunion. You saw it with the cake was smashed in his face. You seen when he went to when he was hanging out, when he was balling. You knew when he went to the gym.
You
You
know his
know
mama
more
name.
about people. I know more about y'all than I would have ever known about any individual before. And it's like we're the scariest with knowing the most. And it's just a trip. I just think it's a trip. But it's not a hill I want to die on. That's not an argument I really
So,
want
so,
but
so
to die
Journey
on.
and
Because
Mika.
furthermore than that,
oh, go ahead.
Robert, we can hear you.
I was just gonna say,
furthermore.
to,
Oh, I don't know who's
go
going.
ahead, Robert.
Robert hasn't
No, go
spoken.
ahead. Go ahead, Robert.
Colin bouncing.
Who's going back?
I'm gonna go ahead,
Colin
Colin.
is
So,
calling out.
and like Chris was saying, like, yeah, women could have somebody that helps them, man. But the other thing is, I don't know many women, and I know some, but I don't know many women who's gonna say, okay, I just met this dude. I'm gonna go out by myself with this dude, and I ain't gonna tell nobody. I'm telling you who I'm gonna be with, where I'm gonna go. Here's his email address, get his email address, phone number, Instagram, LinkedIn, Skype, all that information. Give that to somebody else that information and follow up. Hey, I'm going
His
to this
employer.
We had women who
Yeah, his audio
had this place that I was unaware that they were even there. So it's not like did it go bad because of internet?
No, we got you. We heard you.
Is it good or is it bad? Somebody say something.
You're good.
You good?
Yeah. So
It's
it's
in
not
and
like,
out, but
like
you
people are just running out here and taking. It's in and out. But it's not like women are just out here taking chances without making sure that they have some sort of safety net.
So look, here's
it.
a perfect opportunity. Mika and Journey, how about the both of you share with us how it is that you would like to be received, if you will, on that first date, or when it comes to these things that we're
You
discussing.
don't knock it off. I'm gonna let Mika go on this one because I think I might fail again.
You can't fail. There is no
Ain't no
failing.
failure.
I might get. She said I
I told
might
you to
fail.
knock it off, man.
Dating is not
No,
my
Yeah, there's no
thing.
picking me
definitely
up.
Captain.
What'd you say, Mika? Say it again.
There's no picking me up.
Mm-mm.
So we will have to meet.
Mika, are you
Okay.
are you a parent?
No.
Okay.
Journey.
Yeah, we would definitely have to meet as well. I'm not allowing you to pick me up from my house.
All right.
And that's okay, right? But like for Shahid, to me,
Yeah.
I've never had if I've offered, because see, when we talk about date, I'll say things like, hey, love to see you, want to see you in person. We can either meet at this location, or if you're comfortable, right? I'll be perfectly fine if you would like me to pick you up. I
Chris,
give the
Chris,
option.
why do you
I
ask?
give the option, but I'm still taking the initiative. I don't
Why?
have a problem picking them up.
Right? I agree. But what you're saying is, if you're comfortable.
Yeah, because I can't assume that they are, right? So therefore I have to ask. That's part of communication. I can't say, yo, I'm gonna come pick you up. This because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not just gonna tell you what I'm doing. I just met you. I don't know.
I cannot imagine. I think what Chris is saying is the vetting process is so deep today.
No, it's
that
not.
If you are who you say you are, no, listen to me. Hear me out. Now, hear me out. I get. Mika says that I'm not getting picked up, and Journey says I'm not getting picked up. Just so where we going tonight? We going to Laurie's over on La Cienega. Okay, cool. We going fucking In-N-Out Burger, wherever you guys are going. You guys will meet there. I think it's gonna always be, and this is one of those conversations where it depends. This is one of those big depends, because I ain't never had no woman have a problem with me picking them up. In fact, it would be weird if I didn't. Now, but that's just me, and that's because, like Chris was saying, the conversation that would happen before we even go somewhere would be so in depth. We got FaceTime, man. I'm at my office. Let me
Well,
show you
where
this
are they
new
at?
fucking dress that I just made, and we caking like that. And I'm walking over to Starbucks, and now I'm over here in Crenshaw District. I'm on 48th and 6th Ave, but I'm about to go over here to AAA, and then I'm gonna shoot over to fucking Denny's. You know so much about a person that it's like, okay, so look, you want to kick it tonight? Because I got this. You know, they have in the 90s concert at the Staples Center tonight. I picked up 2 tickets. I swoop you up. For sure. All right, that's how that goes with me. And so it ain't gonna be no, well, I don't know. I'll meet you there. Fucking after I did all that extra shit.
And I always say,
But you
Shan,
need to teach a workout. You need to teach a class because that's not what's going on.
Right.
So
You know,
Chris,
I'm at 24-hour fitness on fucking
Right, but see,
on
the reason
Slauson.
why
I'm
that's
at
not
the,
going
like
on is
today I
because
was at the
people don't
Culver
know the
City
questions
Stairs.
to ask.
You don't know all of that.
People don't know the questions to ask in the dating process. That's the problem. People are talking about what's your favorite color? What's your sign? Bitch, I don't give a fuck about my favorite color.
Chris,
Don't fucking ask about my favorite color.
I don't
Don't fucking ask about where I work at,
Chris
how
coming
what
over to the
college
dark
I went
side.
to.
right.
Let's talk. Let's just have organic
Chris want a
conversation.
red lightsaber. Chris, you want a red lightsaber?
Chris, man, let me
Hey, we
tell
still
you
don't
why.
know everybody motive though. Everybody motive.
Nah, I don't. I told you I'm neutral. I'm in the middle.
Chris, numerically, this don't make sense. You said 5 to 7 days before. 5 to 7 days before you are talking about a woman on the first date, right? So that would mean you would have to be talking to this woman hour upon hour, day by day, up until that conversation. We're not doing that, Chris. No, I'm not doing that for sure. I'm
No. What? So, but here's the thing. I have enough conversation within about 60 minutes. I will only talk to a new person about 60 minutes. That's the maximum amount of time that you're going to get of my time or after in one day. You that like max. Like if I'm looking at my phone, I say, "Oh shit, I've been on the phone for an hour 50 minutes." Hey, look, I'll call you back.
So listen to your math, Chris.
So you're gonna call
You
back.
said 5 to 7 days. I'm gonna give you. I'll even give you 2 hours a day for 7 days.
One.
So in 7 hours, you've got enough information to where this woman is allowing you to come to her home.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Listen, I'm telling you.
Those are the women that I'm talking about that don't have good male leadership in their life.
Shaheed, watch this.
No.
There's a lady. Watch this. There's a lady that I met that I was dating.
Come on, Wes. I got your
January
lightsaber
29th.
ready for you, Wes. Don't I can put it back in production.
Listen, January 29th, we were dating. And on February, I want to say like 6th, I flew her to Atlanta and she came and stayed with me for the weekend. Because my vetting process is
going
that
home from the
good.
club.
Oh, no.
Niggas is going home from the club with people they just met.
My vetting process, you feel safe when you talk to me.
Okay, that's a great point that Shan just
Some
made.
some people don't have that though.
No, I agree with Shan when he said motherfuckers is going straight from the club to the crib. I've done that before. I'll be a lie if I said I didn't. But
you slut.
We talking about dating with intention, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
No. I don't remember that part being.
I mean, we can. Let's go with that being the underlying theme. But what I'm saying is, if I can fly you out within a week's time, and you come and stay with me for the weekend,
y'all sound.
Listen,
you said that's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. This is the problem. The problem is.
Then I need to coach some people. Then, if that's the issue,
the problem is that. So here's the thing: when you have your guard up, as a man or woman, but certainly speaking as a man, when you have your guard up, you're not just keeping things out, but you're also keeping things in. And so, I tend to go into relationships completely open from the start, sharing whatever it is that needs to be shared, whichever ways the conversation go. And that being said, you can get to know a lot about a person. I always say this, man. Sometimes because of the way that people generally go into relationships with their guards up and then slowly let them down, that that prevents you from getting to know the person that you're connecting with. And so it takes you 6 months to learn what you could have learned in 6 weeks. It takes you 6 weeks to learn what you could have learned in 6 days, and it takes you 6 days to learn what you could have learned in 6 hours. If you're open, if you're vulnerable and communicative with that particular person. And so the level of comfortability that you can absolutely grow in a short amount of time is possible, but it takes two people being completely open and
So
honest.
Wes, okay.
Obi-Wan.
Wes, now
Obi.
do you agree
Welcome.
that in order to completely get
The
to know
dark side.
somebody, you have to be in their space also? You have to see them interact with other people as well?
No.
No. What?
You wait. You said wait. Give me that again. Let's say that one more time.
Do you agree to fully know somebody, you have to see them in spaces where they interact with other individuals as well?
No.
Fully? No.
Because and here's the thing. Listen, now I'm 51, right? So my discernment has grown over years, and so now I don't have to be in anybody's. I don't have to see someone. I do have to see them in all their seasons, right? I do want to see someone go through rough times, see how they
He just
handle
said yes to your
conflict
question.
and the whole nine. But the reality of it, do I have to see? Because people say this all the time. You have to see how they interact with other people in the whole nine in order to actually know them. I know from a person's demeanor, from a person's conversation. I know from our
Just
interaction.
Just a clubhouse convo for 3 hours, you can learn a lot.
Right.
Oh,
For
Obi-Wan, let me ask you this question though. you kept saying you keep saying you go into these relationships. Is it really a relationship, or is it just dating? Because because it sounds kind of schizophrenic to me.
Right,
He's just talking about a new experience. I don't think
it's right. Yeah, right. Exactly, Chris. I'm just talking about a new experience. So so it's all a relationship to me, you know, from the start to finish. It's relating with the human. So
So let me add this caveat, because
add the caveat, brother.
So you got on one hand you want somebody to have safeguards and be protected. And I think they're called boundaries, right? Is that what it's called, boundaries? But on the other hand, you want them to be fully open and available to what may potentially come down, down the line. So how do you get there? Does it take 6 hours, 6 days, 6 months, 6 years? Because from my understanding, I think I've been living a little bit longer than you have, sir. That people got this whole dating and this whole, the old school said courting. It's kind of the lines are blurred here, because how do you expect to get to know somebody if you don't concede something? You got to let something down. You got to let something of your guard down in order for somebody to at least approach the fence or climb it. So, yeah, let's say we're not going to let the person come to the house. So, where are you going to have, other than chatting on the phone or over FaceTime or whatever? Where are you going to get those personal spaces if your guards are always up?
Wait, are we talking?
How do you get to that point, though, Wes?
Wait.
He said his guards down.
My guards are always all down. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. We're on the same page.
Okay. Because I'm at the point right now that I'm not really a serial dater. I'm Chicago 85. I'm a one-woman man, but I gotta let my guard down somewhat in order to let the woman in to really, so we can coexist, so we can mesh a little bit. But if we're putting up all these safeguards, like Shan said, we in the era where you can find out anything. If you Google me right now, you can probably find my home address because it's connected to my business. I'm trying to change that, but here we go. At the end of the day, you can Google anybody and find something on them. You can go to the judiciary case search in your state and find something on somebody doing something. So you definitely can do your homework outside of the meetups and the greet ups or whatever the case may be, and people still They still slamming on that first day. You call it a date, you call it a meeting, a meet and greet, but folks still going home on the first day doing some dastardly things. So
I'm gonna say
So Shan,
this is my last thing before.
wait. What, Shaheed, before you hold on, wait, Shaheed. Wait,
You said what, Shaheed?
Before you jump in, I want to make sure that the gray beards are all on the same. Are we all in?
Yes, the gray beard, the
right.
50 club is good.
Experience, right? Good. Go ahead now.
The
Now,
50 club
young
is
buck,
good.
please.
I just want to say the 40 club is good too.
It's these young. It's Darth Maul. It's young Darth Maul, and Skywalker and all the rest of them that don't understand.
Yeah, it's the 39 and under.
I'm on the pace with y'all on this.
Nah,
you with it?
Skywalker?
I'll be alone here.
Hey, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I agree with you, Shaheed.
Yeah, y'all be the ones proposing to these women after 2 months and wondering why it go wrong. That's a good thing.
Look, Shaheed, I've been single for 5 years, so that ain't the case. Journey and Mika, have you guys enjoyed our show? Let me just jump in real quick. Have you guys enjoyed our show? I know we definitely enjoyed both of you ladies being here. Yeah. Hopefully you guys got some great feedback with the questions that you asked. And like I said, share this show with your friends. Come back next week, and if you'd like to, make sure you share it on your social medias. We appreciate you for being a part of Ask a Black Man Anything. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Man, you know what? Great show, fellas. Colin, send us home.
That was pretty fast.
Yes.
I wasn't even ready. I'm in the background trying to cook.
Sir.
Hold on, I haven't even loaded it up.
You gotta.
All right, here we go.
Before Wes open his mic again.
There we go. Bye.
Oh boy, that's hilarious.
Okay. I can
definitely enjoyed the fellas, man. Definitely enjoyed the fellas tonight. It's an interesting mix, conversation vibe. The flow was like that.
It was something I was going to say.
Good conversation.
Damn. Something about.
I'm mad you Ron came for me though. He said I was in his office.
Yeah, the thing on the wall. That's the thing that's
there was something that young Skywalker said that made me think he was ready to come to the dark side. I forgot what it was. Yeah. What did he say?
I agreed with you twice today. That's what it was.
I know. What was the first one? It was good. And I wanted to highlight that. Oh no, not the shrew, and then it's the second one. It's something after the shrew part. I forgot. It don't matter.
The beauty of the Force is that the dark and the light side always pulls at you.
Well, listen, Lando Calrissian, you just a mercenary. You don't give a fuck who you work for. You play both sides.
I do. I definitely do play both sides of the fence.
That's why you Lando. You take money from the Federation. You take money
better
from
have
the
my
Empire.
money. Better have my money.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's in the audience, that's still in the show, that's still listening to us talk. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask a black man, please pull up next Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'd be happy to answer. Today we had two wonderful guests come up and ask us some questions, and we talked about it. We went a little longer because it was those two. But if you do have something, we'll make space for you. So if you can think of anything, maybe it's a relationship issue, maybe it's some social justice, maybe you have an entrepreneurship question, it doesn't matter. And you want to hear the perspective of black men, we'll give it to you. We span the entire range. We got young, we have older, all of us are smart. And we'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. You can always just lock in our URL. The URL is the same every time. call.aabma.live. That's the website, call.aabma.live. It'll take you straight to the back green room, and we'll bring you in, and you can ask us a question. Hopefully there's something that's super spicy, since spicy was the topic today. And we'll be able to give you some insight and some information that'll make you a lot more informed than you were before you asked the question. We appreciate you guys for being with us. Wes, you there?
Don't do it. Don't tell him.
Sir, I'm here.
That's right. He don't want us to tell him no more, right?
You don't want that added pressure.
My connection is terrible. I can, but it's cutting out.
It's all good. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you.